Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. Thank you so much for tuning in as the Pippins get set to play in their first ever West Coast League Championship Series. Everyone was champing at the bit to get back on the field after the COVID-19 pandemic canceled the 2020 West Coast League season. But thanks to the tireless work of healthcare workers and other essential workers, they got back on the field for a full 2021 season. One person left hanging was Pippins head coach Kyle Crustangel, who was named the new head coach of the Pippins in 2020 after he left Wenatchee in 2019 to stay closer to home. He finally got to take the field with the team in 2021, and what a year it has been. He's led the Pippins to both first and second half championships, the first time the Pippins have won both halves in the regular season, and now to their first ever West Coast League Championship Series. Over in the South, it's been business as usual for Brook Knight and the Corvallis Knights, who are four-time defending West Coast League champions. They essentially breezed through the season, easily winning both halves of their regular season and sweeping the Ridgefield Raptors in 2 games in the WCL South Division Series. The season started right here on June 4th as the Pippins hosted the Knights, and Chase Graves' 2-run home run capped off a 10-1 victory for the Pippins, who would go on to win the opening weekend series as well. Now, the West Coast League Championship Series, here we come, right back where we started from. The Knights are back in town, and though nobody's season will end tonight, somebody will be one win away after today from the 2021 West Coast League crown in the final game at Yakima County Stadium this summer.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. Last night, the Pippins were in a do-or-die game for the second night in a row, and again, it came up big, but the Bellingham Bells got out to an early 2-0 lead thanks to this home run in the top of the first.
Wow. Payoff pitch. Lined into right field. Will that one stay fair? Dickman on the run, and it is fair, and it's gone. A 2-run home run for Luis Avila as he just tucked that one right behind the foul pole down the right field line.
Undeterred, the Pippins would tie it up and take the lead in the bottom of the first. Here's how they did it.
Here's the 1-1 from Dixon, and Olsen fly ball into deep center field. Nick McLean back, and it's over his head. Kobalas was tagging from second. He goes to third, and he's getting waved around. The throw goes over the head of the cutoff man, so Kobalas will score without a throw. Chaz Myers goes to second. He was also tagging from first, and the lead cut in half on the RBI base hit by Sam Olsen. 1-0, bouncer first base side, and leaping to stop it was Cole Hinkleman. Doesn't have a chance at the plate, but covering was Dixon at first base, and the Bells get their first out on the ground out. Chaz Myers scores from third. The rest of the runners move up. Back, the 1-1 pitch. And Holder hits a deep line drive to left center field. Nobody was in that gap. Both runs will score easily. Holder on his way to second. It is a 2-run double for Taylor Holder, and the Pippins lead this game 4-2 in the bottom of the first inning.
Each team would add a run in the second inning, giving the Pippins a 5-3 lead. Then, in the fifth, the Pippins load the bases. A wild pitch scores a run. They load them back up, and 2 walks after that force home a pair of runs. And then Sam Olsen caps off the inning with this hit.
1 ball and 1 strike to Sam Olson, and he hits one back up to the second baseman, dives for it. Lambo off of his glove. 1 run scores. Here comes a second. Olson thought about going for 2, but he'll stay at first base. Shanks scores from third. Taylor Holder, or Spencer Marenko rather, scores from second base, and Connor Cobalis goes first to third.
Corey Jarrell would add an insurance run for the Pippins, giving them an 11-3 lead with an RBI base hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. Meanwhile, Landon Shire came in for the final 2 innings of the game, and his first strikeout of the night came on the last batter of the game, finishing things out and giving the Pippins the win. We later found out the reason why he pitched 2 innings last night. In a heartfelt, tear-filled moment in the clubhouse after the game, Landon Shire spoke to the team, let them know that Angelo State University had called him back to school. Last night was his last night with the team, so they took full advantage using both innings out of him. He would have been unavailable tonight, but he's unavailable anyways. It was a tough moment. We'll get into more of that during the game, but Landon Shire finishes off the game. The Pippins finish off the win. They win the final 2 games of the series to advance right here to the West Coast League Championship Series. That begins tonight in Game 1. Games 2 and 3 will take place Thursday and, if needed, Friday in Corvallis. We'll be right back with an interview with head coach Kyle Crustangel ahead of tonight's game right here on the Pippins Pregame Show.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pippins Pregame Show. Chris Rosado Jr. talking with head coach Kyle Crustangel. Kyle, I've talked to you in the regular season, I've talked to you in the postseason, and I talked to you for your first game in the West Coast League Championship Series. You've been to the playoffs before. The Pippins have been to the playoffs before, but neither you nor the team have been in this moment right here. How does it feel for you personally? Not the team. Ignore the guys. I want to know how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, as a coach, it's just another baseball game. It's easier to say that than it actually is. You get a little extra butterflies, a little extra excitement. But, it's really been the goal. I think anytime, I've had a new job with a new club, whether it's in college or summer, the first year is important. You want to leave a good taste in fans' mouths and the players in the community. And, for us, losing in the bottom of the 9th in Victoria in 2019 when I was with Wenatchee, really wanted to get back to that situation. And obviously yesterday, up 11-3 going in, I'd be lying if I said, the haunting 9th inning of Game 3 wasn't in my head. But super excited to get that win. I know the whole coaching staff was. And, it worked for a long time for this goal. Almost 2 years after not playing last summer and then finally getting to play this summer. This is what you're playing for. It's what the guys are here for. We're here to win a West Coast League championship. And, again, just a lot of excitement and anxious to get the game going against, in my opinion, the 2 best teams that have kind of showed the course of the workload the entire summer.
Yeah, the 2 teams who have dominated the regular season and won, obviously, their series here in the playoffs. You talk about an important first year. Your first year at Yakima Valley College when you took over for Marcus McKimmey. You end up winning the NWAC title that year. Here, your first year following Marcus McKimmey's tenure as head coach for the Pippins. You've taken the Pippins further than they've ever been before and hopefully a little bit further. One more home game left coming up in just a few moments for the Pippins. They will have Game 2 and, if needed, Game 3 Thursday and Friday in Corvallis. Until then, we'll have lineups and first pitch as we get Game 1 of the West Coast League Championship Series going right here on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
At Cascade Natural Gas, we help smart businesses cover their bases. Old, new, and in between. No matter the age of your building, they all benefit from energy-efficient choices. Cascade Natural Gas offers a long list of incentives for energy-efficient upgrades. Upgrades that save your business money every day. Become one of the many Cascade business owners benefiting from the quality, comfort, and savings of energy-efficient upgrades. Join Team Energy Efficiency and take advantage of rebates from Cascade Natural Gas.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside Yakima County Stadium. On behalf of the Yakima Valley Pippins organization, from the players, coaches, staff, interns, game day operations, and ownership group, we welcome you inside for game number 1 of the West Coast League Championship Series, the first time ever that the Yakima Valley Pippins have found themselves competing for a West Coast League Championship. However, familiar territory, as you heard in the pregame show, for the Corvallis Knights. Down on the field, introductions going on for each team. We'll see this again tomorrow night as well back in Corvallis, as the first time at the stadium in that round. The teams get introduced, just about rounding things up here in Yakima. We'll real quick take you through our starting pitchers tonight for this game. Sam Sturr will start on the mound for the Corvallis Knights, and for the Pippins it will be Peyton Stumbo. Thought I had a little bit more time there, but turns out we're going to go ahead and step away for the national anthem right now, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Hang with us on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked number 1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Well, national anthem over, and that means we are moments away from first pitch of game number 1 of the West Coast League Championship Series. The Corvallis Knights won both halves in the South Division. The Pippins won both halves in the North Division. The Corvallis Knights had a tremendous season, and so they have the best overall record and have home field advantage in the West Coast League Championship Series, just as they did in the West Coast League's South Division Series. So the Pippins host Game 1 tonight. Game 2 will take place Thursday night, and a possible Game 3 on Friday night. We'll take you through tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by the Yakima Herald-Republic. For the best sports coverage in the Yakima Valley, subscribe to the Yakima Herald-Republic, either in print or online. You can subscribe by calling 577-7755. The Yakima Herald-Republic, they tell your stories. First, we will take you through the starting lineup tonight for the Corvallis Knights, the visiting team here in game number 1. Travis Bazana, familiar name, at the top of the lineup for the Knights. He will play second base. Briley Knight will bat second and play center field for them. And Nick Vogt will DH and hit third. Kiko Romero, the reigning West Coast League Player of the Week, he's playing first base tonight, hitting cleanup. Tanner Smith will catch and bat fifth. Kyler Stancato, the right fielder, batting sixth tonight. Tyson Corio is out in left field, and he will play or bat seventh. Spencer Scott, the freshman out of the University of Portland, he plays third base tonight, batting eighth. And Riley Way will round out the bottom of the order as the shortstop. Starting pitcher tonight for the Corvallis Knights, when we get to the bottom of the first inning, will be Sam Sturr. as I mentioned before, a sophomore out of Oregon State University. But first, we have to get through the top of the first, and Peyton Stumbo is on the mound, finishing up his warm-up pitches. Sophomore out of the University of Nevada, Reno. He has made 9 appearances for the Pippins in West Coast League play, 5 of them starts. He has a 2-1 record with a 5.11 ERA, 31 2/3 innings pitched, 24 strikeouts to 23 walks. He's had some mixed results in his various outings, but overall as a starter has had more success. Last appearance came in relief, a bit of a tune-up outing on August 10th against the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Pippins had already secured the first half championship, or the second half championship rather. He earned the win with 2 innings of relief, allowing 2 runs, none of them earned, on 1 hit with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts against the Apple Sox. And he will face Travis Bazzana, who's been hitting like crazy throughout the summer. Bats from the left side and takes the first pitch on the inside corner for called strike 1. Bazzana will be a freshman at Oregon State in the fall. Has hit atop the Corvallis lineup all throughout the season, playing second base as well. Fouls one off, and he's behind 0-2 to Peyton Stumbo. Defensively for the Pippins, identical to a couple of nights ago, Alex Shanks is in left field, Taylor Holder in center, and Blake Dickman in right field tonight. Chaz Myers at third base with Connor Caballas at short. The 0-2 up top, and Travis Bazzana goes down swinging for out number 1. Well, that's something you don't see every day. Travis Bazzana being retired, first of all, and second of all, by the strikeout. That is a great start for Peyton Stumbo. And now he will face another big bat, Briley Knight. First pitch swinging, pops it up behind home plate. Michael Carpentier watches it bounce a few rows up in the grandstands, and that will go home with a fan tonight. The Corvallis Knights swept the Ridgefield Raptors in 2 games in their South Division series back on Saturday and Sunday. In Ridgefield, they won 13-6, getting out to an early lead and holding off the Raptors. The 0-1 pitch, Briley Knight sends into shallow left field. Alex Shanks charging in, and he will make the catch on the run for out number 1. Game 2 took place at home in Corvallis, and you know how the Knights play at home in front of their Goss Stadium crowd. They took down the Raptors 9-0. Really just dominated them both on the mound and at the plate. Here's the first pitch to Nick Vogt. Takes on the inside corner for a called strike. Peyton Stumbo, right-hander on the mound. Glove over his face as he takes the signs. Now comes set with his hands at the belt. The 0-1 at the knees called a strike, and it's no balls and 2 strikes for Nick Vogt. Vogt, right-handed hitter. No batting gloves for him. And he has also been someone who's been crazy good with the bat this summer. The 0-2 pitch misses outside. That is the first ball thrown by Peyton Stumbo in this inning. 8 pitches later. He retired Travis Bazzana and Briley Knight without throwing a ball. The 1-2 pitch fouled off by Nick Vogt. And it's still 1-2. Over the 2 games the Corvallis Knights played against the Ridgefield Raptors, Vogt was 4 for 10, 3 runs and 3 RBI, 2 strikeouts. He did have a double. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. And Peyton Stumbo strikes out 2 Corvallis Knights for a 1-2-3 top of the first inning. That is huge, and we'll see if that gets the offense excited and ready to go as well in the bottom of the first. We'll be right back. You're tuned in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. For the bottom of the first inning, Yakima Valley Pippins will bat for the first time today, and there is no score in this game after Peyton Stumbo struck out 2 out of the 3 batters he faced. He got a flyout for the other batter, 1-2-3 inning. Take you through the starting lineup tonight for the home team, the Yakima Valley Pippins. Connor Kobalis will lead things off again here tonight, playing shortstop. Chaz Myers, the third baseman, hitting second, and Sam Olson DHing tonight as the third batter in the lineup. Willie Lajoie hitting cleanup. He's the first baseman. Michael Carpentier Jr., who is catching tonight, he's batting fifth. Blake Dickman gets the start out in right field, batting sixth. Mason Marenko in the lineup tonight as the second baseman. He's hitting seventh. Alex Shanks in the 8th spot again tonight, playing left field, and Taylor Holder moves down to lineup spot number 9 as the center fielder. The Pippins have used 2 different lineups over the last 3 games. One that looks like this, with Mason in the 8th spot and Holder in the 9th spot, and one with Spencer Marenko in the 9th spot and Taylor Holder hitting 7th. Mason and Spencer have split second base duties in the first 4 games of the playoffs, as Connor Kobalis takes strike 1 to start his at-bat against Sam Sturr, the right-hander out of Oregon State University. Made 4 appearances for the night so far, 2 of them as starts. Misses outside, and it's 1-1. 1-0 record for him with 1 save. 3.37 ERA, just over 10 innings of work, 10 strikeouts for him. Misses outside, and it's 2-1. He has 8 walks as well. His first appearance for the Corvallis Knights came back on July 15th against Cowlitz, the 1-1, and Connor Kobalis lifts this one into right field. Kyler Stancato underneath it, and he'll make the catch for out number 1.
Batting second, third baseman, number 45, Chaz Myers.
Chaz Myers to bat with 1 out and nobody on. Sam Sturr, as I said, first appearance back on July 15th. He made an appearance on the 15th and then on July 18th, and then not another West Coast League game for him until August 1st in Bellingham. Strike delivered to Chaz Myers on the first pitch. 0-1 for him. The 0-1 pitch. And Myers lines this one into right field. That will drop for a base hit. Kyler Stancato almost looked like he was going to try to charge up on that and get it to first quickly, but ultimately gave up on that idea. So it's a 1-out base hit for Chaz Myers, and that's the first hit of the night for either team. That will bring Sam Olson to the plate. Right-handed hitter, veteran backstop. Go back to the University of Oregon as a senior in the fall. Chaz Myers on first base. Decent-sized lead. First pitch to Olson, takes down low. Myers is on first base in such a low crouch. I believe he's actually resting his fingertips on the dirt, or just above the dirt. Here's the 1-0. This is inside. 2 balls and no strikes for Sam Olson, who also is a catcher on the roster for the Pippins, along with Blake Dickman, who gets the start in right field. The Pippins have the always great problem to have that they have 3 great hitting catchers and had to find a way to fit them all into the lineup. Olson swings and fouls off a pitch. It's 2-1. Michael Carpentier Jr., this will be his last game with the team, as he will take off tomorrow to head back home. So Sam Olson or Blake Dickman, one of the two, will end up catching for the second and, if needed, third games of this series. Here's the 2-1 to Olson. Grounder to the second baseman Bazana, flips to the shortstop Riley Way and over to first. And the Corvallis Knights turn a double play to erase the one-out single by Chaz Myers. So 3 batters for the Pippins, 3 batters for the Knights. We go to the second, no score. You tune into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flywkm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Chris Rosado Jr., pleasure to have you along for game number 1 in the West Coast League's Championship Series. Brisk day here in Yakima, very uncharacteristic, especially for the summer that we have had, both in the temperature, it's about 66 degrees right now, and the fact that there is heavy cloud cover over the stadium. Seemed like it was almost every night of the regular season that I was able to report that there was not a cloud in sight, without exaggeration. But here tonight, it's almost entirely clouds over the stadium. Smoke has returned over the skies of Yakima County Stadium. It was a relatively clear night last night, and not so tonight. Kiko Romero fouls the first pitch off the end of his bat to start off the top of the second inning against Peyton Stumbo, who struck out 2 of the 3 batters he retired in the top of the first in order. The 3 toughest bats in the order, Bazana, Knight, and Vogt. Here's the 0-1, Kiko Romero. He bounces that one up the middle, and he's got a leadoff single here in the top of the second inning. Kiko Romero, who was named the West Coast League's Moss Adams Player of the Week last week after going 8 for 22 in the week, 7 RBI. In the 2 games the Knights played against the Raptors in the division series, Kiko Romero went 5 for 10. Leads things off in the second inning with a base hit up the middle, and here's Tanner Smith, catcher out of Oregon State as well. Squares around to bunt, throw goes back to first, and did he get under the tag? No, he didn't, says first base umpire Jim Courtney. And Kiko Romero is picked off of first after Tanner Smith fails to lay down the bunt. Romero got a little too eager on that one. That was a sacrifice situation, or not necessarily situation, but a sacrifice attempt. And the number 1 rule as the base runner is you don't start running until you know contact was made. There's the 0-1, and Tanner Smith gives this one a ride high to center field. Taylor Holder underneath it. He'll make the catch. That one hit just a bit too high, and that's a quick out number 2. Well, Michael Carpentier Jr., you don't want to test his arm too often. And he is always looking for opportunities to put his arm to work. That time goes back to first. Kiko Romero was way off the bag. Lajoie almost didn't get the tag down just because he didn't get his head around to look at where Romero was. But he did tag him in time, and Kiko Romero was picked off of first. After the flyout by Tanner Smith, here's Kyler Stancato for the first time. Stancato fouls off the first pitch. No balls and 1 strike. 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the second inning. No score here in Yakima. The 0-1 pitch. And Stancato lines one. It'll one-hop Mason Marenko. Fielded clean and over to first. And it's another 3-up, 3-down inning, albeit unconventionally this time. And we go to the bottom of the second inning. Still no score from Yakima. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Pippins. Willie Lajoie, Michael Carpentier Jr., and Blake Dickman. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
Secure uncertainty.
Enough!
With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be on, Cloud!
Oh! Wait! Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh. And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow!
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting.
Come on, walk into the ice dome.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the bottom of the second inning. No score from Yakima. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Pippins, just as it was for the Corvallis Knights, and the Pippins will certainly hope things go a little more their way. Leading things off is Willie Lajoie, who will go back to Chico State as a senior in the fall, and we understand a large group of his teammates back in Chico State watching along tonight and cheering Willie on. Certainly hope he gives them a show tonight. The first pitch, and Lajoie lines went out of play on the first base side. It's 0-1. Lajoie has quite the story. He was signed to play for the Victoria Harbor Cats in both 2020 and 2021. Takes a breaking ball that breaks over the plate for a strike, and it's 0-2. Obviously, nobody played in 2020 in the West Coast League, and this season, the Canadian teams in the West Coast League were forced to withdraw from the season. Timeout called at the plate. As Sam Sturr was through his windup. So after the Canadian teams withdrew from the West Coast League season, Lajoie ends up getting placed with the Pippins. Sturr misses for a ball. It's 1-2. Coach out of Chico State got in contact with Kyle Crustangel out of the blue, and the Pippins were happy to welcome him in. Had no idea the season they would get out of him. Fly ball into shallow center field this time, and Briley Knight is in to make the catch for out number 1. That will bring Michael Carpentier Jr. to the plate. His arm bought Peyton Stumbo an out back in the second inning. Kiko Romero led things off with a bouncer up the middle. And after Tanner Smith tried to lay down a sacrifice bunt, he missed the bunt, and Kiko Romero had already taken off for second. By the time he got back, Carpentier had the ball in Lajoie's glove. Tag applied, and Romero was picked off. Carpentier takes ball 1, and it's 1-0. Defensively for the Corvallis Knights tonight, Tyson Corio is out in left field. Briley Knight in center, and Kyler Stancato is the right fielder. Here's the 1-0 from Sam Sturr. Carpentier, big swing that time up high. Misses, and it's 1-1. Spencer Scott playing third base with Riley Way at shortstop. Travis Bazana is the second baseman, and Kiko Romero mans first base. Behind the plate tonight is Tanner Smith, the only catcher listed on the roster as a catcher. Caught in both games of the division series. Here's the 1-1 to Carpentier. This is outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Carpentier caught all 3 games for the Pippins, except for the last 4 innings of Saturday's game in Bellingham. Once they had gotten a sizable lead over the Pippins, The Pippins decided to rest his legs, brought Blake Dickman in from right field to catch, and put Corey Jarrell out in right field for the remainder of the game. Carpentier came back and caught Sunday and Monday's games. Asked him about the legs, says they're feeling fine. 3-1 pitch on its way. Misses outside, and he walks with one out. Pippins had a hit back in the first inning, erased by the double play grounded into by Sam Olson. And speaking of catchers who can hit, here's Blake Dickman, who's starting in right field. Throughout the regular season, he saw time behind the plate at first base and in left and right field. Over the last, actually all 3 games of the division series, Corey Jarrell came in late to relieve him in right field. We already talked about Saturday's situation. Dickman takes the first pitch for a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. On Sunday and Monday, they just brought Jarrell in as a defensive replacement. Jarrell got an at-bat in each of those games. Here's the 0-1. And Dickman fouls that back over the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes. Dickman very clearly has earned the right to be a part of the lineup. On base percentage of .409, second on the team in the regular season behind Sam Olson. And his .286 batting average from the regular season led the way for the Pippins. The 0-2 pitch, and he lines one into center field. Briley Knight steps forward and makes the catch for out number 2. He wasn't sure at first. Took him a second to figure out where that was going to drop. For outfielders, balls that are hit directly at you can sometimes be the hardest to read, especially low-line drives like that one off the bat of Blake Dickman. You just imagine really a straight line. If you're looking at the line head on, it's just a point, tougher to read. If you get to look at that line from an angle, you get an idea of where that line is going to go. It's the same general concept for an outfielder. Mason Marenko takes strike 1 to start his at-bat. The 0-1 pitch. Takes low inside corner for a called strike 2. Mason did not start in the Division Series opener on Saturday. He played on Sunday, starting at second base. Went 0 for 4 in that game. Did have an RBI. Did not play last night as Spencer Marenko got the start, and he starts tonight. See if Spencer will start on Thursday. Here's the 0-2. Mason fouls that one off. Last night, his brother Spencer Marenko went 0 for 3, reached on an error in the second that he came around to score on, and walked with the bases loaded in last night's game to bring home a run. Outside of that, he had 2 strikeouts. The 0-2 to Mason Marenko. Breaking ball outside, and it's 1-2. Mason and Spencer, bit of a sibling rivalry all throughout the season, but a lot of fun for the both of them as well, as they got to play in the same lineup for a large number of games throughout the season. 1-2 pitch to Mason Marenko swung on and missed, and he goes down swinging for out number 3. That is the first strikeout of the night for Sam Sturr, and it gets him out of the second, stranding Michael Carpentier Jr. on first after the walk. We go into the third, still no score. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Corvallis Knights. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app FanFood, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download FanFood today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Top of the third inning here in Yakima, and no score. One hit for each team so far. Also a walk for the Pippins. And that has been it so far. Nobody into scoring position. Tyson Corio will lead things off here in the third inning for the Corvallis Knights, followed by Spencer Scott and Riley Way. Michael Carpentier Jr. was stranded on first base in the last half inning, so it took him a while to get the gear on and out, but the Pippins now ready to get things going in the top of the third inning. Peyton Stumbo struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced in the first inning for a 1-2-3 inning. Then allowed a base hit to Kiko Romero to start the second, but Tanner Smith failed to lay down a sacrifice bunt, and Romero got backpicked on first base by Carpentier. Smith would fly out, and Kyler Stancato grounded out, and that was the end of the top of the second inning. Tyson Corio will look to start things off a little better. Stumbo working out of the stretch with nobody on, the 1-0, and Corio swings at a ball in the dirt. Tried to stop his bat, but ended up stopping it while it was pointed at Peyton Stumbo. Won't even need to check with Jacob Asher down at third base. 1 ball and 1 strike for Tyson Corio, who plays for Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Fouls one off down the third base side. San Luis Obispo, one of 2 California Polytechnic universities. The other one being Pomona, who plays Division II baseball. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Bounces inside and taken for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Corio will go back as a junior in the fall. He doesn't have a hit so far in the playoffs. He went 0 for 9 over the 2 games with Ridgefield. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. In the regular season, he hit .232, 5 doubles and 3 home runs. So can hit, just the consistency has been the question mark. The 2-2 pitch takes up high, and it's a full count for him. Batting from the left side, white batting gloves for him. By the way, the Pippins, if you couldn't already guess, back in the white jerseys tonight. The 3-2 misses up high, and Tyson Corio is the first walk issued by Peyton Stumbo. Does so to lead things off in the third inning. Pippins are very particular about their uniform combinations. They lost game 1 in their Electric City uniform style that they go with, the neon green jerseys and black hats. So they came back home and decided to go with the white on white, and it has worked so far. High fly ball into left field. Alex Shanks ranges over to his right, now pulls up, and he'll make the catch. That's out number 1. That will bring Riley Way, the bottom of the order, to the plate. Way, a senior out of Lewis Clark State College. Hit .226 on the season. He's 5 for 8 in the playoffs with 2 doubles. 5 runs scored for him as well. Throw over to first from Peyton Stumbo, but back in safely is Corio. Here's the first pitch from Stumbo. That one on the inside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Riley Way represents a tough part of the batting order. Not that there's really an easy part of this batting order for the Corvallis Knights, but after Riley Way is Travis Bazana and then Briley Knight and Nick Vogt, who have demonstrated time and time again that they will punish you for pitches that you miss. Stumbo misses with the breaking ball up high, and it's 1-1. 1 out, runner on first base here in the top of the third inning, no score. Throw over to first again. Back in without a tag is Corio. Corio had 8 stolen bases during the regular season. He was caught stealing twice. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Way. That one just inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Michael Carpentier Jr. behind the plate this season has thrown out 14 of 30 would-be base stealers. That's a .467 caught stealing percentage. He was at or above 500 in more than one part of the season. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Runner goes. Line drive into left field. Alex Shanks ranging back. He'll make the catch, so the runner will have to go all the way back to first base. But it's a long throw, and so Tyson Corio gets back in safely. Give the credit to Alex Shanks. If Corio had not known that ball was going to get caught, if he had rounded second a little bit further, there's a good chance that Shanks gets that there in time. But Corio had his head up with one out. The line out gets back to first despite running on the play. And that will bring Travis Bazzana to the plate for the second time tonight. He struck out on 3 pitches to start this game, the first pitch. And that's a weak swing. Tried to stop it, but was already going through it. And it's 0-1. Bazzana, one of the best hitters in the West Coast League. The 0-1 pitch. This is low and away, if not the best hitter in the West Coast League. He had the best batting average at .429, which also led both the team and the league. Stumbo comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that one in the dirt, skips away from Carpentier, and on the way to second goes Tyson Corio. Timeout called, and Carpentier would like a new baseball. Not sure that he wanted that one to get put back in the pocket of Mike Carr. Will go down as a wild pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike for Travis Bazzana with 2 outs, and now the runner in scoring position, Tyson Corio. Fly ball into right. Blake Dickman ranging back. Now it's a little more shallow than he had anticipated. Reaches up and makes the catch with both hands just to be safe as Tyson Corio crossed home plate, but that doesn't matter. The catch made, and the Pippins get through 3 scoreless innings. We go to the bottom of the third, and it's 8-9-1 due up for the Pippins. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Bottom of the third inning, Alex Shanks, Taylor Holder, and Connor Kobalas to lead things off for the Yakima Valley Pippins. No score in this game. Peyton Stumbo just finished his third inning of work. He has allowed 1 hit and 1 walk, 2 strikeouts for him. Sam Sturr is back on the mound for inning number 3 for him. In 2 innings so far, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Alex Shanks, the first batter here in the third inning, takes a ball just inside, and it's 1-0. Shanks will go back to Gonzaga in the fall as a sophomore. He's put together a nice little season here with the Pippins this summer. He hit .220 over the summer with 9 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. Strike taken at the knees, and it's 1-1. The way I tend to characterize him as the type of player who will be quietly producing all throughout the season. The 1-1 pitch, and he fouls one off the end of his bat back into the glove of Tanner Smith. It's 1-2. Doesn't necessarily do anything too flashy, although he did have 2 great plays in the field last night. 1-2 pitch misses low and away, and it's 2-2. Somebody at the plate that you could almost forget about, but then you look at his numbers and you remember, oh yeah, he's actually a pretty solid little hitter. Been with the Pippins all throughout the summer. 2-2 pitch to Shanks, and he flies one into shallow right. Kyler Stancato to his right, now to his left. He'll make the catch, and that's out number 1. It's been mostly fly ball outs here tonight for both teams.
Center fielder, number 6, Taylor Holder.
Taylor Holder, the center fielder, will bat with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch to Holder, and he swings at that one, fouling it back to the screen, 0-1. Taylor Holder was mostly playing left field and sometimes right field for the Pippins throughout the summer, as Chase Graves started the first 20-plus games in center field, and then Noah Williamson started to take over a little bit. They split some time. Noah Williamson obviously was drafted by the Miami Marlins in the 19th round of this year's draft and eventually signed with them, so he left the team. Chase Graves has actually just been cleared to return to play after suffering a head injury in Port Angeles. The 1-1 pitch, and Holder grounds one softly up the middle. Riley Way goes off of his glove, and Taylor Holder will reach on the error by the shortstop. As I was saying, so with Williamson gone and Chase Graves, even while Graves was healthy, it would split time. Taylor Holder started playing more center field. Pippins also tried Corey Jarrell out there. Holder took over eventually, and he's started in all 4 games of the playoffs in center field. Holder takes his lead off of first base. He had 5 stolen bases in the regular season. Connor Cobalis at the plate with 1 out. First pitch, and he takes outside for ball 1. Cobalis last night reached base all 5 times that he stepped to the plate. He had 3 walks, a single, and an RBI double. .1-0 count, and the Pippins bench starting to get loud here in support of their teammates. The 1-0 catches the inside corner that time. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cobalis overall in the playoffs so far, 4 for 9 with that double last night. 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs with 4 walks. Here's the 1-1. Holder takes off. Smith down to second. Holder slides in, and he did not get the hand in time. He is caught stealing second base for out number 2. As Connor Cobalis took ball 2, and it's 2-1. Oh, the Pippins certainly thought that they had a chance there. Holder thought he had a good read, and it was a close play, but Tanner Smith, give him credit. He put that ball right on the money. And that is out number 2, a big one for the Corvallis Knights. Sam Sturr through the windup, the 2-1 up high. Cobalis goes swinging, and it's 2-2. Cobalis flew out in his first at-bat to the right fielder to start the bottom of the first inning. The 2-2 pitch inside, and that hit his back elbow, his right elbow. Mike Carr is asking the wrong umpire whether Cobalis was swinging on that one. He pointed down to the first base umpire and then down to the third base umpire. And he should have been asking the first, but ultimately decided without checking. Cobalis was hit on the wrist. He had asked Cobalis where it hit him. And Mike Carr is satisfied with his decision, and the Pippins will certainly take it. I don't think Cobalis had, certainly he was starting to twist his body, potentially to swing, but I don't think he really got far enough into the swing for it to have been called anyways. But Carr took the decisions out of his fellow umpire's hands Connor Kobalas will reach after getting hit by the pitch, and here's Chaz Myers. First pitch swinging, rips a hard grounder down the third base line that just goes foul. And it's 0-1. Well, Taylor Holder reached on an error. He was caught stealing second. Connor Kobalas is hit by a pitch. So second free bag given to the Pippins in this inning, and we'll see if they can take advantage with 2 outs. No balls and 1 strike for Myers, who had a base hit in the first inning. 0-1, he pops one up. That will go out of play on the first base side. And it's 0-2. Home plate umpire tonight, Mike Carr. Jim Courtney is the first base umpire. And the third base umpire, currently stationed around second base because of the 3-man rotation, is Jacob Asher, who the Pippins saw during the division series. He's the umpire a couple of nights ago who was really taking a beating from both sides behind the plate. 0-2 pitch. Fouled back to the backstop by Myers, and it's still 0-2. And I don't mean verbally. I mean he was literally taking foul balls and errant pitches off the arms. I think he took one to the throat. Just a rough day behind the plate for him. Was at third base in last night's series finale, and he's at third base here tonight. So he won't have to get back behind the plate until the final game if needed. The 0-2 pitch. Myers takes. He was on his toes for that one as the curveball broke outside. Ultimately left the zone, and it's a good take. As a batter with an 0-2 count, you always second-guess those decisions on pitches that look good out of the hand. Connor Kobalas leading off at first base. 2 outs, 1-2 count for Chaz Myers. Sam Sturr delivers. Myers pops one up. Shallow right field on the grass is Bazana. He'll make the catch, and that is out number 3. So they do not take advantage of the second base given to the Pippins. Taylor Holder reaches on an error with 1 out. He's caught stealing second base before Connor Kobalas gets hit by a pitch, but Chaz Myers flies out to the second baseman, Bazana. And we go to the 4th. Still no score here in Yakima. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Corvallis. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Top of the 4th inning, and Peyton Stumbo is out to continue his work. 3 innings so far, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. No runs for either team. Leading things off for the Corvallis Knights here in the 4th inning will be Briley Knight, Nick Vogt, and Kiko Romero. It is 2, 3, and 4 for them.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning for Corvallis, center fielder number 13, Briley Knight.
The 4th inning of tonight's game is brought to you by Yakima Pediatric Dentistry. Located at 3909 Creekside Loop in Yakima, Yakima Pediatric Dentistry offers specialized care for infants, kids, and teens in a safe, fun environment for children as they begin their lifetime journey to maintaining a healthy smile. Briley Knight squared around a bunt, pulled the bat back, and ended up taking strike 1. He flew out to the left fielder, Alex Shanks, in the first inning. Takes a ball, and it's 1-1. Pippin certainly smiling right now that they've been able to keep Corvallis scoreless for 3 innings. Peyton Stumbo on the mound. Pippins had to burn a lot of their top pitchers to make sure they could get into this championship series, and Peyton Stumbo has earned a right to pitch in the playoffs. This is not just bottom of the barrel for the Pippins. He's the next guy up, and they're fully confident in him, but they have to be extremely impressed with what he's turned in so far 3 innings in. Strike delivered to Briley Knight, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Knight so far 5 for 10, including his flyout in the first inning in the playoffs this year. Swung on and missed, and strike 3. Carpentier had the ball slip out of his glove. He'll throw it down to first, but Briley Knight wasn't bothering to run anyways. So that will bring Nick Vogt to the plate, the DH tonight. He will bat with 1 out and nobody on. Vogt struck out swinging in the first inning. He was the only batter that Peyton Stumbo threw a ball to in the first inning. And first pitch swinging, fouls one back to the backstop on the first base side. It's 0-1. Now that I'm looking at the scorebook a little closer, in the second inning, it doesn't look like Peyton Stumbo threw a ball at all. Had a couple of deeper counts in the third inning. Here's the 0-1, and fouled on the third base side on the ground just past the Pippins dugout. So it's 0-2. Vogt, the right-handed hitter out of the University of California, Santa Barbara. Go back as a sophomore. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, froze him. And, well, that was a new one, but Mike Carr rings up Nick Vogt. I'm at a loss for words on that strike 3 call. I don't really know whether he was intentionally trying to build suspense or had made his mind up late or what had happened there, but strike 3 called on Nick Vogt. And so 2 strikeouts to start the 4th inning for Peyton Stumbo. First pitch to Kiko Romero. He takes inside. That's ball 1. Romero singled to lead off the second inning as the infield pulls over to the right side, the pull side for Kiko Romero. Swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. Third baseman Chaz Myers is a few steps behind the third baseline, but about a quarter of the way down between third and second base. Cabales is nearer the second base bag. Romero, another big swing, and it's 1-2. Body pulling off towards that pull side, part of the reason that they've got the offense shifted that way. And now Cabales moves even closer to second base, or behind second base, and Myers takes a few steps with him. The 1-2 inside, and he takes up high, 2-2. Romero has the only hit against Peyton Stumbo so far in this game. Willie Lajoie guarding the first base line. Here's the 2-2. Lined into center field. Taylor Holder on the run, and it's over his head. He misjudged that one. It rolls all the way to the wall. Kiko Romero racing around. Now he's going for 3. That goes over the head of the cutoff man, Cabales, and will roll all the way to Chaz Myers at third base. Kiko Romero has a 2-out triple here in the top of the 4th inning. And that brings Tanner Smith to the plate. Taylor Holder, that one was to his left. He was on the run and then realized it was carrying further than he thought. Turned the corner back towards the wall and had to pick it up after it bounced around on the warning track. Romero, plenty of speed, and was able to get around the base paths. Luckily, nobody on for that one. Game still tied at 0. And Tanner Smith pops up the first pitch around home plate. Michael Carpentier Jr. tosses the mask away, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So the 2-out triple ends up not coming back to haunt the Pippins, and we go into the bottom of the 4th without a score. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Pippins. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
The cloud of uncertainty!
Enough!
With
With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances.
Model our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the bottom of the fourth inning. And the Corvallis Knights now have 2 hits in this game, both of them by Kiko Romero, showing why he was named the West Coast League's Player of the Week last week. Peyton Stumbo also struck out 2 batters to start that inning. After the triple, he got Tanner Smith to pop up in foul territory, caught by Michael Carpentier Jr. And here in the bottom of the fourth, it will be Sam Olson, Willie Lajoie, and Michael Carpentier Jr. Sam Olson had a big night last night. We'll take you back to his performance last night. In the bottom of the first inning, he started the scoring for the Pippins with an RBI single to center. Was over the head of the center fielder, Nick McLean, who sort of acted like he was going to be able to catch it, so only 1 run was able to score. But then in the bottom of the fifth, with the bases loaded again, 1 out, and he hits a hard grounder right at the second baseman, or to the right of the second baseman, who dives, and it goes off of his glove into center field, allowing 2 runs to score. And that gave the Pippins a 10-3 lead in last night's game against the Bellingham Bells. The Pippins went on to win that game 11-5. Sam Olson takes the first pitch low and away here in the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's 1-0. Sam Sturr, 3 innings so far, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He hit a batter in the last inning, and 1 reached on an error as well, the 1-0. And Olson takes on the inside half of the plate for a called strike, 1-1. As I said, with Michael Carpentier Jr. expected to leave the team tomorrow, Sam Olson might get some reps behind the plate in games 2 and 3. Big hack from him, but hits it a little high into center field. Briley Knight underneath it in dead center, and he'll make the catch. That's out number 1. Ball not carrying very far here in Yakima today, but the launch angle has not been right for most of these hits tonight anyways. Hasn't really been any baseballs off the bat that looked like they should have left the yard but didn't, as both Peyton Stumbo and Sam Sturr have avoided true barrels so far throughout the night. Mound visit from Tanner Smith, who jogs back to home plate. Willie Lajoie, who flew out to the center fielder, Briley Knight, to lead off the bottom of the second inning. He steps to the plate for the second time tonight. Lajoie 5 for 13 in the playoffs so far with 1 double, 3 runs scored in an RBI. Here's the first pitch from Sturr out of the windup. Misses outside, and it's 1-0. Corvallis wearing their black jersey tops and gray pants, striped down the side. The 1-0 pitch to Lajoie takes outside again, and it's 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. See what Sam Sturr comes back with. And Lajoie swings. That one's a bouncer down the third base line. Goes foul, and Kyle Crustangel able to walk over and pick it up. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Lajoie had taken off down the line, so by the time he gets back, Mike Carr buys him a couple seconds. Quick conversation. Now looks like it's ready to go again. 2-1 pitch on its way. And Lajoie, it's a fly ball down the right field line. Kyler Stancato near the pole reaches up, and that ball is foul. And there is a chain link gate down there just past the foul pole that Stancato thought that ball was going to be catchable, then realized it was a little higher and a little further away from him. Perhaps the wind played a role in that as well. The flag's not blowing very hard, but you can feel it here in Yakima. And Stancato almost robbed that one on top of the chain link gate. Instead, ended up pushing it open. I believe it has been closed again. Outfield wall here in Yakima. Solid wood. 293 down to the poles. Not very deep in the corners. Here's the 2-2. Lajoie holds back a swing. They're going to check with Jim Courtney, who agrees. And it's a full count for Willie Lajoie. Relatively traditional outfield dimensions all the way around up until the corners when they jut back in if you're new to Yakima County Stadium. So while it's 406 just right of center, it's 293 to the foul poles. Lajoie takes a breaking ball high and in, and he walks. That is the second walk allowed by Sam Sturr. With one out, Michael Carpentier Jr. will step to the plate. The other thing that's not quite as traditional about Yakima County Stadium is that the outfield walls, while the distance is somewhat traditional, the height of the wall is very much not. It's 16 feet high all the way around except for a small cutout where the scoreboard is. The entire scoreboard out in left field is a home run if you hit it. Carpentier pops the first pitch up and out of play behind home plate, and it's 0-1. But the 16-foot-high outfield wall ends at the foul poles, and then after that it's a regular chain link fence with a gate that connects basically to where the foul pole is on either side. Here's the 0-1 to Carpentier. Swung at one in the dirt and misses, and it's 0-2. Carpentier was the first batter to walk against Sam Sturr back in the second inning. He also just caught a pop-up in foul territory to end the top of the fourth inning after the two-out triple by Kiko Romero. Sturr set. Here's the 0-2, and Carpentier gets a piece of that one, fouls it back over the backstop, and it's still 0-2. Every catcher's best friend, a pop-up that stays in play here in Yakima. Plenty of room behind home plate. Carpentier has gotten to put the glove to use throughout this summer as he has the arm as well. He is another guy who was with the Pippins from day one. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Carpentier takes low and inside. It's 1-2. Big left-handed hitter, and I've mentioned it before, but we expecting to have a relatively new crowd in for Game 1 of the West Coast League Championship Series. Carpentier primarily a defensive first catcher. He's got an arm like really nothing else you've seen at this level. The 1-2 pitch bounces out in front, and it's 2-2. Also extends into blocking pitches and calling games as well. Pitching staff respects him and loves working with him. The bat wasn't as much of a factor in the early part of the season. Suffered a couple of injuries almost back-to-back, took a lot of time off, went home for a little bit, came back, and after that the bat has been alive and well. 2-2 outside, he stabs at it and pokes it over the backstop, still 2-2. Ended the regular season with a .258 batting average. He had 2 triples on the season as well, which was second on the team. Only batter with more than 1 triple for the Pippins. 4 doubles and 2 home runs. And he has hit 5th in all 4 games of the playoffs. Here's the 2-2. And another pitch that likely would have been outside that Carpentier, trying to protect, gets the bat on and fouls that one into his own bullpen. So Willie Lajoie on first base with 1 out. Carpentier still with a 2-2 count. 7 pitches into this at-bat. Sam Sturr trying to find the answer. He comes set. Glance at first. Another one. Here's the 2-2. Backdoor breaking ball. Carpentier grounds to Bazana. Over to second. They turn to first. Not in time. Carpentier beats out the double play. Lajoie out at second. Well, Bazana, one of the smoothest fielding second baseman in a league that has a lot of smooth fielding second basemen. Picked that up, set the feed, and threw over to the shortstop, Riley Way, to buy him as much time as possible, but Carpentier able to stretch out the legs and beat that one out. 2 outs, runner on first base, and here's Blake Dickman, who lined out to the center fielder in his first at-bat. First pitch, and Dickman takes up high for ball 1. Carpentier reaches on the fielder's choice. So still just 1 hit for the Pippins tonight. But Sturr has allowed a couple of walks, 1 batter that he hit. But Knights have committed an error in this game as well. The Pippins have not been able to take advantage of any of those free bases so far tonight. Dickman takes a ball that bounces outside, and it's 2-0. Tanner Smith was good to get the glove on that one. Wasn't quite able to slide out to block it, so that was his only hope, and he managed to keep it in front of him. Carpentier doesn't go anywhere. Dickman, 2 balls and no strikes for him. As Sam Sturr comes set, here's the pitch. And Dickman grounds one through the right side. No, Bazana's over to it. The ground that he covered is incredible. Gloved that one and threw to first base, and Kiko Romero keeps the foot on the bag, and Travis Bazana has stolen a base hit from Blake Dickman. And we go into the 5th inning, still no score from Yakima. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the top of the 5th inning. Peyton Stumbo out for a 5th inning of work. He will face 6, 7, and 8 Kyler Stancato, Tyson Corio, and Spencer Scott. Stumbo has thrown 4 innings so far, 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for him. Mistakes by these pitchers look like they're going to be few and far between, and both teams have to figure out how to capitalize. Neither has been able to thus far. Sam Sturr, the starter for Corvallis, has allowed a hit, 2 walks, and 1 hit batter. And the Pippins have not been able to capitalize for a run. Alex Shanks, he did not catch that ball. Alex Shanks has saved Peyton Stumbo from another hit tonight with an insane diving catch. I have no idea how he got to that one. You have to take another look at this one. Kyler Stancato swinging at the first pitch. That ball was dropping quickly into left field. Alex Shanks on the run the entire way. At the last second, drops down to his legs and reaches down and makes that catch right up against the grass. That is an amazing play by Alex Shanks. The 3rd one in 2 nights. He had 2 of them last night. Tyson Corio at the plate now. Takes ball 1 to start his at-bat. Here's the 1-0. Corio lines one into left. Alex Shanks racing back this time, has turned his back, now turns around, and it's past his glove. On the warning track as he kicked it away, and over to third goes Corio for the possible triple. One hops Chaz Myers, and the tag not in time as Corio in standing. That was a close play. Myers not giving the indication that the ball was coming in. Corio didn't think he had to slide, but luckily for him is in safely. That's the second triple of the night for the Corvallis Knights. And they have a runner on third with one out. The infield now for the Pippins comes in as Spencer Scott steps to the plate. He flew out to Alex Shanks in left field in his first at-bat. First pitch is a ball outside. Pippins trying to guard from the run that would break the scoreless tie here in the fifth inning. Another ball in the dirt. Michael Carpentier Jr. drops to the knees to block that one. Keeps it in the glove. Tyson Corio stays at third base. Corio has reached in both of his plate appearances. He walked back in the third to lead things off and tripled here in the fifth. 2-0 pitch misses outside for a ball, and it's 3-0. In fact, Tyson Corio and Kiko Romero are the only two batters who've been able to reach against Peyton Stumbo thus far, and they've done it in both of their plate appearances. The 3-0 pitch, and that one misses low. Peyton Stumbo walks Spencer Scott on 4 pitches, and that puts runners on the corners. Well, if you're the Pippins, the only good news out of that one is it sets up the potential double play. Michael Carpentier Jr. was looking into the dugout to see if Kelly Fitzpatrick would come out, and now he does. So the infield will come in as they talk things over. Bottom of the lineup, Riley Way, who lined out to Alex Shanks in left field in his at-bat in the third inning. Riley Way, the 9th batter in the lineup. Kyle Crustangel is out of the dugout talking with Jacob Asher, the third base umpire. I'm not exactly sure about what. I think Asher initiated this conversation about either the players, something they may have been saying or doing in the dugout. Looks to be settled. Riley Way has been hitting well in the playoffs so far. 5 for 9 now after he lined out in his first at-bat with 2 doubles and 5 runs scored. 1 walk and 1 strikeout for him. Finds himself with runners on the corners and 1 out. Perhaps the best chance for a run for the Corvallis Knights so far tonight. Kiko Romero tripled, but he did so with 2 outs in the 4th inning. The next batter popped out in foul territory. Riley Way squared around to bunt, then pulled it back, and the pitch missed up high for ball 1. Corners were crashing on that play. Corners playing in, middle infielders at double play depth for Riley Way, who will be a tough out at first base. He tries to lay down another one, takes a strike instead. Riley Way moving out of the box, almost like a drag bunt situation. The runner's not going, so it's not exactly a squeeze. 1-1 pitch, squares around again, pops one up, but that one will bounce off the netting above the Corvallis dugout. Well, the Pippins would certainly take a popped-up bunt if it was in fair territory, or at least playable. Instead, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes, and you'll expect to see the bat of Riley Way stay back until it's time to swing. Timeout called as Willie Lajoie had to adjust the cleats. Looks like he's back ready to go. Lajoie pulling double duty. He's holding on Spencer Scott at first base and also was crashing in on the various bunt attempts. Stumbo throws over to first. Back in safely is Scott without a tag. No score in this game. 3 hits for the Knights so far, 1 for the Pippins. The 1-2 pitch, and Riley Way grounds to the third baseman Myers, who throws home, and the out will be made easily. Tyson Corio thought he had slid underneath the tag, which was very much not true. He was trying to slide between the legs of Michael Carpentier Jr. Instead, he took the glove to the face. And now Travis Bazana is asking Mike Carr about it. Let's take another look at that one real quick. Riley Way hits the hard grounder to Chaz Myers. Not typically a ball that the runner from third would try to score on, but Corio took off for home, and the ball got there way before him. Carpentier, if he had just taken another step up the line, there would have been no question. Instead, Corio thought he had the magic bullet. We return to live action. Line drive into center field, and Taylor Holder will make the catch. That ends the inning. Tyson Corio makes the decision to try to score on a ground ball to the third baseman. Myers throws him out at home, and the line out ends things in the top of the fifth. We go to the bottom of the fifth, and it's 7, 8, and 9 for the Pippins. Still no score. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
And checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
The cloud of uncertainty!
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait! Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh. And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow!
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. For the bottom of the fifth inning, it will be Mason Marenko, Alex Shanks, and Taylor Holder. The Corvallis Knights had perhaps the best scoring opportunity for either team of the entire game after Tyson Corio tripled with one out and Spencer Scott walked to put runners on the corners. Riley Way was trying to lay down a bunt to help bring the run home. Failed to, got out to a 2-strike count, and ended up hitting a hard grounder to Chaz Myers. Corio took off for home. Myers threw him out easily at home. And then Travis Bazana lined out to end the top of the fifth, and the Pippins dugout was pumped for Peyton Stumbo, who gets through a fifth scoreless inning. He has allowed just 3 hits so far with 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Sam Sturr on the mound. First pitch was a ball to Mason Marenko. Here's the 1-0. 1-0 catches the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Sturr in 4 innings so far has allowed just 1 hit, but he's walked 2 and hit a batter as well. And he had a strikeout to end the second inning. Here's the 1-1 to Mason Marenko. Fly ball, that will go foul on the first base side. So it's 1-2. Marenko still looking for his first hit of the playoffs. He went 0 for 4 back on Sunday. Struck out in his first at-bat in the second inning here tonight. Sturr with the 1-2 pitch. That one misses outside. The wrist for Marenko. Thought about it. Pretty much no other part of his swing started on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sturr through the windup, the 2-2 pitch. And Marenko lines this one over to Bazana, who will find it in the glove. And looks like he might have found a soft part of the grass there, but makes the catch regardless. That will bring Alex Shanks to the plate. And we'll take you back to last night. Well, you saw the diving play in the top of the 5th inning. But last night he had 2 of them. In the top of the first, he made a diving play that ended the top of the first inning against Bellingham. And then again in the top of the 8th inning when Landon Shire was on the mound, helped Landon Shire get through a scoreless 8th with another diving catch. So he had 2 of them last night. He's got one already tonight, and he's at the plate after taking the first pitch strike with one out. The 0-1 pitch. This is way outside. Would have hit a left-handed batter in the ankle. And it's 1-1. Sturr hopped after delivering that pitch. Jumped up in the air a couple of times. Could be any number of things for a pitcher. Here's the 1-1. And Alex Shanks with a big hack. Misses, and it's 1-2. Looks like there is some small droplets that have fallen here in Yakima. Some of my papers covered in some little droplets. The 1-2 pitch to Shanks misses inside, almost hit him. Actually started at his thigh and broke just inside. Shanks out of Mercer Island, Washington. Went to Mercer Island High School. Teammates with Mason Marenko. Just lined out to Travis Bazzana. As well as Owen Wild, who could pitch tonight. The 2-2 pitch. And Shanks takes down low. The Knights fans and the pitcher Sam Sturr thought that was going to be called strike 3. Looked like he made eye contact with Mike Carr and asked why not. Full count, 1 out. Here comes the payoff pitch. And Shanks takes down low. He walks. What a toss of the bat from Alex Shanks. That's one of those at-bats the Knights will look to see how this one plays out as Shanks walks after they thought they had him struck out looking on the 2-2 pitch. That'll bring Taylor Holder to the plate. Holder reached on an error by the shortstop Riley Way. There's a soft grounder just to the left side of the infield, and the grass here in Yakima can slow some balls down, also put some weird spin on it sometimes. First pitch to Holder, and he takes outside for ball 1. Slowed that ball down for Riley Way, but it still went off of his glove. If he had fielded it clean, it still would have been a tough play at first to get Taylor Holder, but we'll never know because he wasn't able to glove it clean. Reached on an error, but then was caught stealing second base. That was back in the 3rd inning. The 1-0, he fouls off over the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike. Taylor Holder from Corvallis. In fact, when the Pippins were in Corvallis just a little bit ago, August 3rd to the 5th, almost everyone who worked at the stadium would ask about Taylor Holder, how he was doing. Some guys had played with him in high school or knew of him. Throw over to first, but back in safely is Alex Shanks. Actually made it to college at the University of Oregon, was recruited as a two-way player, especially because of his arm. As the Corvallis Knights will go ahead and hop on out. Looks like Bo Kearns out for a talk with Sam Sturr, as Sturr seems to be a little bit distracted on the mound by Alex Shanks at first base. He's working at a slower pace, and I believe that was the first throw over to first from him, which might be the reason why Alex Shanks was getting such a large lead. Taylor Holder, as I was saying, back in high school as a sophomore, was able to throw 90-plus miles an hour, which caught the attention of the college coaches. It was always his dream to play for the University of Oregon, and that made it possible. But he has a lot of pop in the bat as well. And pretty soon after he got to Oregon, they decided to convert him to an outfielder only. And so that is what he has played for the Pippins. Playing a lot of center field in the last few weeks. The 1-1 pitch catches the low outside corner, and it's 1-2. Told me that he primarily played center field. He never really played a lot of corner outfield, so he's actually more comfortable playing in center field. which he didn't do much of in the first really 3 quarters of the season. He said he feels more at home there now than he did in the corner outfield spots, and he rips a ground ball through the left side of the infield for a base hit. That is just the second hit of the night for the Pippins and the first for them since back in the first inning. And that brings us back to the top of the lineup for Connor Kobalas. Runners on first and second and 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. No score in game number 1 of the West Coast League Championship Series. The Championship Series, just like the Division Series, is a best-of-3 series. So nobody will be going home tonight. However, a win in game 1 sets the tone for the rest of the series. Tomorrow night will be an off night for both of these teams. It's a travel day as the Pippins will travel to Corvallis. First pitch to Kobalas, he takes low and away, and it's 1-0. Games 2 and, if needed, 3 will take place Thursday and Friday in Corvallis. Both of those games would start at 6:35 p.m. Sam Sturr working out of the stretch. Here's the 1-0. Misses inside that time, and it's 2-0 for Kobalas. We will, of course, be providing live audio-only coverage on Mixlr at Pippins Baseball. You can also find the portal for that at pippinsbaseball.com/live. Mixlr, you can listen both on your desktop computer, mobile device, in the App Store as well. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Here's the 2-0. And Kobalas takes high and inside that time. Kobalas had 19 walks in the regular season. Pippins had a lot of guys who could turn in some walks. They were actually 4th in the West Coast League with 237 walks. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and Kobalas takes high and inside again. He was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. He walks here in the 5th. That's a big part of the reason Kobalas is at the top of the lineup. It's the on-base percentage, which is certainly, or would have been climbing if these stats in the playoffs would count towards the regular season stats as well. He reached base all 5 times last night, and he's done so twice tonight. His walk loads the bases with 1 out, and Brooke Knight will come out to make a pitching change. The first change of the night, and it's the Corvallis Knights doing it. In the bottom of the 5th inning, 1 out and the bases loaded. They turn to the bullpen. We'll be right back with that change for you right here on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back as we continue on in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it looks like Brett Gillis will be the pitcher that takes over for the Corvallis Knights. Sam Sturr exits the game. 4 1/3 innings of work for him. He has walked 4 batters, 2 of them in this inning, and allowed 2 hits, 1 of them also in this inning. That's what loaded the bases with 1 out. He struck out 1 batter, also hit 1 earlier in the game. So far, no runs against him, but he's responsible for all 3 on the base paths. Gillis, over the summer, 6 relief outings for the Corvallis Knights, 2-0 record with a .81 ERA and 11 innings of work, 14 strikeouts to 5 walks. He's a big guy that they feel like they can turn to in this situation. The Pippins, one hit or a walk or hit by pitch or error or really anything away from breaking the scoreless tie here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And it will be Chaz Myers called upon to find that anything. In the playoffs, Brett Gillis did make a relief appearance. He pitched 2 innings. Back on Saturday in the first game. Struck out 4, did not walk a batter in 2 scoreless innings. Chaz Myers swings and misses at the first pitch from Gillis. Right-hander works out of the stretch. Will be a junior at the University of Portland out of Everett, Washington. Comes set with the hands below the belt. The 0-1, and Myers swings at a pitch up high. It's now 0-2 quickly. Myers had the first hit of the game for the Pippins back in the first inning before Sam Olson grounded into a double play. Myers popped up to Travis Bazana in the 3rd to end that inning. This is his 3rd at-bat. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and the bases loaded. Game tied at 0. Here's the 0-2. And Myers swings and misses again. And he's down on 3 strikes for the 2nd out. Disappointed with himself. Went chasing on that fastball up high. Looked good the first time, looked good the second time, looked good the 3rd time. And that can be a hard lesson to learn sometimes in the heat of the moment. That pitch always looks good to hitters, but especially when they're looking for a big ball to hit. And with the bases loaded and a game tied, sometimes you think you can give that one a ride. Here's the first pitch to Sam Olson, who takes in the dirt. They're going to ask Jim Courtney, and he will say that he did take it. Olson 0 for 2 tonight, due for a base hit, and the Pippins would love to see it here. One ball and no strikes. The pitch. And that one a strike just below the letters. 1 ball and 1 strike. Olson, we already discussed, had an RBI single last night and a 2-run single. Back in Sunday night's game, he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Bring in a run. The 1-1, and Travis Bazana again covers some ground, ranging over to make the catch. If that ball had dropped in, it's 1 or more runs. Instead, the Pippins strand the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th, and we go to the 6th. Still no score in Yakima in game number 1. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Corvallis Knights. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the top of the 6th inning. And the Pippins had their best chance to score back in the bottom of the 5th, loading the bases with 1 out. But the Corvallis Knights turn to Brett Gillis, and he does the job, getting a strikeout and a lineout to end the inning without a run. So we're still scoreless as we head to the 6th inning. Briley Knight will lead things off for the Corvallis Knights. And though the Knights have already had to turn to the bullpen, Peyton Stumbo still out on the mound for the Pippins. 5 innings so far, 3 hits against him, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. First pitch to Briley Knight is a strike on the low inside corner, and it's 0-1. Stumbo working out of the stretch. The 0-1 misses, and it's 1-1. Briley Knight so far tonight 0 for 2. Fly out to left field and a strikeout. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And he fouls one off back towards his own dugout, 1-2. Briley Knight started the early part of the season with the Corvallis Knights. And then came back after taking a trip out to New England for most of the summer. Came back home and finished out the season with the Knights and is now trying to close out their postseason run with them as well. Grounder to Willie Lajoie, who picks it up and steps on the bag himself for out number 1. The Corvallis Knights are on the road to what they call the Drive for 5, referring to a 5th straight West Coast League championship. They've won the last 4 between 2016 and 2019. They didn't win it in 2020 because there was no West Coast League season in 2020. Nick Vogt takes a first pitch strike on the breaking ball inside, and it's 0-1. Last time before 2020 that the Corvallis Knights were not playing in a West Coast League championship was back in 2015. Bouncer up the middle, Mason Marenko to it. He throws to first, and Nick Vogt grounds out. Nick Vogt is 0 for 3 tonight. That's the first time he hasn't struck out tonight. And with 2 outs, Kiko Romero will step to the plate, who's having the opposite kind of night. He's 2 for 2. He has a base hit and a triple. Pippins trying to set up their defensive alignment against Romero. First pitch. This is high and outside. There's 2 competing things going on with the Pippins. Peyton Stumbo, as well as most of the Pippins pitching staff, work at a quick pace. Cash Ulrich trying to set up the defense as Stumbo wants to get going. And, well, Stumbo ultimately gets to control the game as he's the one on the mound. Ball misses low and inside. It bounced off of either Mike Carr or Michael Carpentier Jr. 2 balls and no strikes for Romero. It's a 2-0 pitch, and Romero pops up. Third base side, Chaz Myers in foul territory, makes the catch, and Kiko Romero is retired for the first time tonight as Peyton Stumbo throws the arms in the air, trying to get his teammates and the crowd involved here in Yakima. 3 up, 3 down, and we go to the bottom of the 6th without a score. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Pippins. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's a tug-of-war match here in Yakima in game number 1 of the West Coast League Championship Series. Neither team has been able to put up a run on the board. 3 hits for the Corvallis Knights so far tonight, 2 for the Pippins, who have not been able to take advantage of 4 walks, a hit by pitch, and an error that the Knights have given them. Brett Gillis came on with the bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Got 2 outs without a run. Lajoie It's a high fly ball deep to left field, back near the wall, and it is not caught. Lajoie on his way to second. They had some trouble picking it up on the warning track, but they get it in, and Willie Lajoie flexes to the dugout. He's got a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Take another look at that one off the bat of Willie Lajoie, making his fans back at Chico State proud, no doubt. First pitch swinging, gives the ball a ride. It's almost deep enough, but here in Yakima, instead it bounces off the wall. At least I think it did. It's a long way from here. Someone or something hit the wall, but nobody was able to catch the ball. They had some trouble picking it up as Willie Lajoie was easily in for a stand-up leadoff double here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that will bring Michael Carpentier Jr. to the plate. He has a walk and reached on a fielder's choice today. He's 0 for 1. First pitch fouled off on the third base side. Corners guarding against the sacrifice bunt. Middle infielders playing back against Carpentier, the left-handed hitting catcher. Tend to see it a lot. Left-handed hitter, right-handed thrower. No balls and 1 strike against Brett Gillis. Swung on and missed on a pitch down low. Looks like he got a piece of it to tip it back into the glove. And it's 0-2. Carpentier, including tonight, is 2 for 10 in the playoffs. 2 runs scored, 3 RBI, and 4 walks. The 0-2 pitch, and he gets a piece of that one, fouling it back to the backstop to stay alive. It's 0-2. The Pippins did not have an extra base hit in either of the first 2 games of the North Division Series. They then had 3 triples last night and 1 tonight for Willie Lajoie. Carpentier goes down swinging for out number 1. That was just the 3rd hit of the night for the Pippins. Chaz Myers had a single in the 1st inning. Taylor Holder had a base hit in the 5th. And Willie Lajoie's double here in the 6th inning. Blake Dickman to bat. Line out and a ground out for him. He's 0 for 2. Runner in scoring position as the Pippins try to break the scoreless tie. Peyton Stumbo has turned in a great outing thus far. 6 innings without a run. As Dickman holds back the bat, they don't have a first base umpire, but they go to the field umpire, Jim Courtney, who's stationed out at second base, and says Blake Dickman went around. And I got to blame that one on the angle for Jim Courtney. He's got a tough job to make, and, well, he kind of shrugged at whoever made a comment at him. Jim Courtney down at second base, threw the hands out, shrugged his shoulders, said, it's kind of the best I can do from that angle. Here's the 0-1, and Dickman fouls it off. I think what makes it tough for a field umpire standing out at second base is when you're down the line, you can sort of have that decision of, did the head of the bat cross home plate? Did the wrists break? You have a really good view of that. Out at second base, you can't tell whether the head of the bat crossed home plate. You can't tell really any of those things, and your criteria changes a little bit, and it becomes much more of a judgment call. It's always a judgment call. Ball in the dirt, it's 1-2. Always subjective, and every umpire has really their own line or criteria, but you have a lot less things to compare it to with a worse angle in the middle of the infield. And having 3 umpires here in the playoffs certainly helps, but as you can see, there are still going to be times where the umpire's not in the best spot to make that check swing call. Chopper third base side goes foul. Alex Fernandez out of the dugout to pick it up. And it's still 1-2 for Blake Dickman. With Willie Lajoie on second base. I think that's the first time this season I've been tongue-tied on Lajoie's last name. Jim Courtney is over there with Jacob Asher at third base. Fly ball out of play on the first base side, and it's still 1-2. Keeps Asher in a great position in case the Knights try to get a lead out at third base, which could be very important in a game like this. LaJoie on second after the leadoff double. 1 out, 1 ball and 2 strikes for Blake Dickman. The pitch swung on and missed at the breaking ball, and it's 2 straight strikeouts. Brett Gillis 1 out away from getting through the 6th inning. And now with 2 outs, the umpires are going to go ahead and switch positions, as they would not expect the lead runner to be the target of a play at third base with 2 outs. A ball hit on the infield, they'd expect the ball to go to first base. So Jim Courtney back stationed behind first base, and Asher is on the grass around second base, getting himself into a spot that doesn't obstruct LaJoie's view. Mason Marenko fouls one back to the screen on the first pitch, and it's 0-1. In general, in the regular season here in the West Coast League, umpires work in 2-man crews. In the playoffs, in both the Division Series and here in the Championship Series, 3-man crew is used. Here's the 0-1. This is up high, and it's 1-1. In this 3-man crew, Mike Carr, the Pippins very familiar with. They saw him throughout the season, as well as Jim Courtney, who they saw a couple of times. Jacob Asher they had not seen during the season, but he was part of the crew that officiated the Division Series for the Pippins, as Mason Marenko swings at a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 1-2. There is a 4th umpire here in Yakima, but he is an alternate just in case he ends up being needed. LaJoie on second still. He led off the inning with a double. 2 strikeouts followed that. Mason Marenko with a 2-2 count after taking a ball outside. Still no score in this game. It looks like Peyton Stumbo will be asked to head back out for a 7th inning of work. Gillis set, looks back at second and delivers the 2-2. Mason takes up high, and it's a full count. Behind Mason is Alex Shanks. If we get to that spot in the order. Full count and 2 outs with a runner on second. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, no score. Pitch, and Mason takes. He almost went after that breaking ball, but keeps the bat back, and he walks. So that will bring Alex Shanks to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight with a flyout. He walked in his last plate appearance. After Mason Marenko started the bottom of the 5th with a line out, Shanks walked, Taylor Holder singled through the left side, and Connor Cabalas walked to load the bases and end the day for starting pitcher Sam Sturr. But Brett Gillis came on and got the final 2 outs without allowing a run. Trying to get through the 6th inning without allowing a run as well. First pitch swinging and missing was Alex Shanks, and it's 0-1. After the double to LaJoie to start the inning, 2 strikeouts, and then the walk to Mason Marenko. The 0-1 he gets a piece of, but tips it back into the glove, and it's 0-2. Gillis has had some great swing and miss stuff since coming into this game. As I said, the numbers lean overwhelmingly towards the strikeouts, away from the walks for Gillis this season. Here's the 0-2. Taken up high and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shanks in and ready. Gillis comes set. High kick and delivers the 1-2. Taken, strike 3 on the breaking ball that froze Alex Shanks. And that is the 3rd strikeout of the inning for Brett Gillis. 4th strikeout in the outing for him so far, and he gets through a scoreless 6th inning, stranding a pair of runners. We go to the 7th. No score for anyone, and Tanner Smith will lead things off. It will be 5, 6, and 7 for the Corvallis Knights against Peyton Stumbo. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the top of the 7th inning and a defensive change made by the Pippins. We've seen this before, and we see it here. Corey Jarrell will play right field for the remainder of this game, coming in for Blake Dickman. Leading things off for the Knights is Tanner Smith. He hits a fly ball into shallow right, and Jarrell will already get his first taste of action, losing his hat, and he misplays that ball. He overran it, and it drops. And on his way into second went Tanner Smith. He was running all the way, and that's why you run out everything. Corey Jarrell had a beat on that ball, but by the time he got to it, he realized it was going to come down over his head. Willie Lajoie didn't see that off the bat. Mason Marenko was trying to get to it, but couldn't get to it in time. Jarrell has the speed and the range, and usually the glove. But the black night sky here in Yakima was deceptive, and Tanner Smith is now on second base to start the top of the 7th against Peyton Stumbo. Here's Kyler Stancato, who bunts down the third base line foul, and it's 0-1. It'll go down as an error for Corey Jarrell. Blake Dickman batted in the 6th inning. He struck out. He was 0 for 3 tonight. As I said, generally considered the better bat, but has struggled a little bit in the playoffs. Stancato tries to lay down a bunt, and I believe it bounced off the bat and hit him in the face. And they're asking Jacob Asher whether it did hit the bat, and it did. Well, yeah, okay, so Mike Carr, I guess, is saying that it didn't hit the bat at all. I thought it did. I thought I heard a pop. But instead, I guess it just hit him straight in the face. Stancato had squared around to bunt, fully squared his body around, and the pitch came up and at him. As he tried to turn away, it hit him in the face. I thought it bounced off the bat and hit him in the chin. It might have hit his face directly, and I guess Carr was asking Jacob Asher whether he was offering at that ball on the bunt. Either way, it will go down as a strike. It really would have only mattered if there were 2 strikes on him, because if you swing or offer at a pitch and it hits you and you have 2 strikes, then you would be put out. Here's the 0-2, and Stancato pops one up. Shallow center, just on the grass is Kobalas. He'll make the catch, and that's out number 1. Tanner Smith still on second base. He hit a fly ball to shallow right that Corey Jarrell overran and wasn't able to make the catch on. Smith ran the entire thing out and wound up on second base, and here comes Tyson Corio. Somebody down in the Pippins bullpen just starting to loosen up. Peyton Stumbo being asked to get through a 7th inning and could have had 2 outs without the error with nobody on. Instead, there's 1 out and 1 on second. Corio takes the first pitch up high for ball 1. Stumbo's set, looks back at second. Here comes the 1-0 to Corio. Lines it at Kobalas, who makes the diving catch, and off the bag was Tanner Smith. Mason Marenko jogs over to second. Kobalas tosses to him, and the Pippins turn the double play. What a play by Connor Kobalas, and that one gets Peyton Stumbo through the 7th inning after Tanner Smith reaches on the error by Corey Jarrell. Connor Kobalas bails both Peyton Stumbo and Corey Jarrell out to end the top of the 7th. Let's take another look at that before we go to the break. Tyson Corio lines that one to the right of Connor Kobalas, who really barely had any time to react, dives after the ball, and Tanner Smith, really just out of respect for the play, decides not even to try to go back into second. Kobalas tosses to Mason Marenko, the double play completed, and we head into the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch here in Yakima. No score. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the bottom of the 7th inning. 9-1-2 due up for the Pippins. It will be Taylor Holder, Connor Kobalas, and Chaz Myers to lead things off against Brett Gillis, who has thrown 1 2/3 so far, 4 strikeouts. He's earned 5 outs, 4 of them with a strikeout, 1 walk and 1 hit. No runs allowed by either him or Sam Sturr, who started the game for the Knights. Peyton Stumbo is through 7 complete innings without a run. Taylor Holder rips a line drive into left center. That will bounce and go all the way to the wall without being stopped, and Holder is on his way to second with a leadoff double. That is the 2nd straight inning the Pippins have led off with a double. Taylor Holder had a double last night. And take a look at this one from tonight. Taylor Holder ambushing Brett Gillis with the early fastball, first pitch of the at-bat, and he rips one into left center field. Last night, talked about his double, said it was over 100 miles per hour off the bat, and just didn't quite have the distance to it, and here he does almost the exact same thing. He is putting some bruises on some baseballs and starts off the bottom of the 7th with a double. We'll see if the top of the order can help the Pippins capitalize and break the scoreless tie. Corners in again. We saw this after Lajoie doubled. Kobalas keeps the bat back and fouls the first pitch off on the first base side. It's 0-1. Taylor Holder is 2 for 3 tonight, reached on an error in his first at-bat, then a single and a double. Kobalas has reached 2 times tonight. Once he was hit by a pitch, and 1 time he walked. Fouls off the second pitch, and it's 0-2. He's the last batter to face Brett Gillis for the first time, as the Knights start to get somebody loose quickly in the bullpen in case things go south here in the 7th. Gillis comes set, the 0-2, and Kobalas trying to fight that one off. Might have been high. Late decision to swing, but he got the wood on it, and it's 0-2. Kind of quick hands it takes to wait that long on a pitch and still make contact. As the Pippins start to get somebody loose down in the bullpen, it looks like Case Matter might be coming in for the 8th inning. Peyton Stumbo's day might be done, and what a day it was. 7 innings without a run. Here's the 0-2 to Kobalas again. Grounder back up the middle. Misses the second base bag. Bazana to it. Throws to first, and it bounces off the glove. Taking off for home is Taylor Holder. The throw not to home because it's muffed on the bare hand by Brett Gillis. And Taylor Holder scores the first run of this game in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Pippins lead 1-0. Well, after the leadoff double, take another look at this one from Connor Kobalas. Grounder right back up the middle. The grass slows it down. It's a tough play, but if anyone can make it, Bazana can. He's over to it on the backhand, throws off balance, and it one-hops Kiko Romero. Might have been playable, but instead bounces off the wrist and into the air. Taylor Holder takes off for home. Gillis tries to pick it up and throw home, but it bounces or falls out of his hand. And Taylor Holder scores without a throw to break the scoreless tie. First run of the game for either team, and the Pippins now ahead 1-0 with no outs in the bottom of the 7th. Connor Kobalas on first base. Chaz Myers at the plate. Third baseman Spencer Scott playing about even with the pitcher's mound as Myers is trying to lay down a sacrifice bunt. Pops one up first base side. Hits off the lip of the grass. Was rolling fair, but then stays foul. And thankfully for the Pippins, as Myers was still at home plate and Kobalas hadn't taken off for second. That would have been a favorable hop for the Pippins if they were running on that one. Myers took the first pitch for a ball, then that foul ball, so it's 1-1. By the way, it does go down as an infield single for Connor Kobalas, who gets credited with the RBI, at least initially. See if that gets adjusted as things go on. Sometimes it takes a while for the scorekeepers to get everything into the system. Throw over to first, and back in standing is Kobalas. Kobalas led the team with 9 stolen bases. The Pippins have a lot of guys who can run and a lot of guys who can steal bases, but they really didn't get after it on the base paths until about the second half of the season when they started becoming more aggressive. Here's the 1-1. Myers takes on the low outside corner for strike 2. He's still trying to lay down a sacrifice bunt, but pulled the bat back, and now that he's taken strike 2, might be asked to swing the bat. Well, after the run scores, here's the 1-2. Myers takes strike 3, and delayed strike 3 call from Mike Carr, who's had some interesting ways of delivering the news to players on the offense, but Chaz Myers takes strike 3, and that is out number 1. That will bring Sam Olson to the plate. Tanner Smith calls time and wants to have a chat with Brett Gillis. The Knights still have an arm warming up down in the bullpen, and looks like he either is or is just about warm. As I was saying, the Pippins score a run here in the bottom of the 7th, so Peyton Stumbo's day likely done after 7 complete innings. And Case Matter will likely be asked to come in for the 8th and 9th innings to close things down in game number 1. Stumbo, this is the longest outing by far for Peyton Stumbo this year. For Nevada, his longest outing was just shy of 3 innings, and here with the Pippins, his longest outing was 5 2/3 back on the 4th of July. That was his very first start of the season for the Pippins. Tonight he goes 7 scoreless, striking out 4, walking 2, and allowing just 3 hits. Sam Olson takes a ball low and away. It's 1-0. Taylor Holder led off the bottom of the 7th inning with a double. Connor Kobalas had himself an infield single that was off the glove of Kiko Romero, allowing Holder to score as he moved from second to third on the single and scored from third on the misplay. Sam Olson takes strike 1, and it's 1-1. Olson 0 for 3 tonight. Willie Lajoie on deck. He had a double in the last inning. As the Pippins try to keep things going, one may not be enough. Here's the 1-1. Olson, big hack from him that time on the fastball down the middle, but misses, and it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Olson batting from the right side. The DH tonight swings and misses on a pitch at the letters, and he is down swinging for out number 2. Brett Gillis has now recorded 7 outs in his relief outing so far, and 6 of them have come via the strikeout. Unfortunately for him, these 2 hits in the bottom of the 7th inning have led to a run as well. Here's the first pitch to Lajoie, who weakly swings at one and misses, and it's 0-1. Cobales still on first base. Pippins not wanting to run into an out. He will likely not be moving with Lajoie at the plate. Here's the 0-1. And takes low and away for ball 1. Lajoie finished the regular season with 30 runs scored, which was tied for the team lead with Noah Williamson, who hasn't been with the team for a couple of weeks. Lajoie used that time to catch back up to him. The 1-1 to Lajoie takes up high. Cobales had started and then stopped for second and got back to first as Tanner Smith tried to backpick him. It's 2-1 for Lajoie. Lajoie ended the summer tied for 6th in the West Coast League in runs scored with that 30, which means he was tied with Noah Williamson. So Noah, if you're watching on the East Coast, thanks for staying up. Lajoie with a high fly ball into shallow left. The shortstop, Riley Way, ends up bringing it down for out number 3. The Pippins score a run in the bottom of the 7th after the double by Taylor Holder, and Connor Cobales' single up the middle that Bazana and Kiko Romero probably split the difference on the responsibility for that error that doesn't get recorded as an error, at least for now, and allows Taylor Holder to score. The Pippins take a 1-0 lead into the top of the 8th. It's 8-9-1 for the Corvallis Knights due up, and Case Matter will come into this game. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the top of the 8th inning. And this game is no longer tied as the Pippins score a run in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Case Matter is on to help close things out. He will be asked to pitch the 8th and perhaps the 9th as well. We know he has the ability to go that long. We just have to see how things play out. Case Matter over the regular season made 11 relief appearances, 4.72 ERA. In just over 13 innings of work, he struck out 24 batters to just 7 walks. Batters hit under 200 against him. Here's the first pitch to Spencer Scott to start off the top of the 8th, and he deals him a first pitch strike. Case Matter's last outing was on August 12th against Wenatchee when he went 1 scoreless inning of relief, no hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. But the more noteworthy outing came back on August 6th in Port Angeles. Here's the 0-1 to Spencer Scott, and Scott lines one back to the screen. He's behind 0-2. On August 6th in Port Angeles, Case Matter came into the game in the 7th inning, faced 9 batters, and struck out all 9 of them. He only has to get 6 outs here to finish out this game. And while the Pippins would love to see 6 strikeouts, they'll take the outs any way they can get them. Here's the 0-2. And he misses up high for ball 1. Spencer Scott lays off. This is not an easy team to strike out. Peyton Stumbo had 4 of them tonight. The Knights over the regular season struck out 392 times, which was the lowest total for any other team in the West Coast League. Scott fouls one off, and it's 1-2. Scott 0 for 1 tonight, flew out to left field in the 3rd inning, walked back in the 5th. Matter works out of the windup with nobody on. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball and stayed up high, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Spencer Scott, the third baseman out of the University of Portland. Will be a freshman in the fall. Matter wearing the stirrups tonight. Here's the 2-2. Swung on in the dirt. Carpentier will pick it up and toss it down to Lajoie at first base. Very nonchalant throw from Carpentier. He makes that one all the time. And that is strikeout number 1 for Case Matter. That will bring Riley Way to the plate. 0 for 2 tonight. By the way, tonight's 8th inning is brought to you by the Yakima Herald Republic. For all game reports and news about the Pippins, read the Yakima Herald Republic, either in print or online. The Yakima Herald Republic, they tell the Pippins stories. Big part of the story tonight was Peyton Stumbo. We already mentioned his 7 shutout innings that helped keep the Pippins in this game, and now they're out in front of this game. Riley Way, first pitch swinging, fly ball into the right field corner, but tailing foul and will go foul. Corey Jarrell leans on the fence down there and opens it slightly. No balls and 1 strike for Riley Way. Jarrell came into this game as a defensive substitution in the top of the 7th inning, and on the first batter ended up dropping a fly ball in right field, but the Pippins turned a double play to get through the 7th and help bail Jarrell out. Jarrell has not yet stepped to the plate tonight. The 0-1 pitch. Riley Way, another fly ball. This one further out of play. That one will find the parking lot behind Yakima County Stadium. The other part of the story is definitely Taylor Holder tonight, who hit his 2nd double of the playoffs, ripped one to the exact same spot as his double last night in left center field to start off the bottom of the 7th. Matter steps off. Connor Cobalis then hit a dribbler up the middle that Bazana bounced to Kiko Romero, who couldn't glove it. Got away from him, and Holder scored from 3rd. 0-2 pitch, misses inside, and it's 1-2 for Case Matter against Riley Way. Riley Way from Lewis Clark State College. He'll be teammates with Donald Saltabon Jr., who Pippins fans may remember from part of the team earlier this season. Actually had 2 different stints with the team this summer. The 1-2 pitch fouled off again, and it's still 1-2. Case Matter will go back to the University of Washington as a sophomore in the fall. He's out of Mill Creek, Washington. Carpentier asks him to step off, and he does, and now Riley Way wants time. It's not given to him, and Case Matter throws the pitch. Did he go around? No, says Jim Courtney. That might have been a little bit of karma for Riley Way not being granted the timeout. Some justice being doled out by the first base umpire, Jim Courtney, and it's 2-2. Matter had stepped off the rubber, and Riley Way wanted to reset. Mike Carr said, no thanks, and he almost swung at a breaking ball in the dirt. The 2-2 is low again, and it's a full count now for Riley Way. 3 foul balls and 3 balls taken. 1 out and nobody on in the top of the 8th inning. Top of the order, Travis Bazana on deck, who hasn't been able to reach base so far tonight. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fastball, and Way got a piece of it back to the backstop, and it's still full. And Mike Carr, not exactly sure. It's something about the backstop here in Yakima County Stadium. The stands do not go down to field level. They're about even with the tops of the dugouts. So there's a wall around the backstop. The 3-2, and Riley Way can't hold the bat back. Mike Carr rings them up for strike 3, and that is 2 strikeouts to start the outing for Case Matter. 1 out away from getting through a scoreless 8th inning. And here's Travis Bazana. Bazana is 0 for 3 tonight. I think I heard someone in the stands say, hey, go 0 for 4. Pippins would not be against that idea. Matter through the windup. Here's pitch number 1. And Bazana rips one right to LaJoie. It either went off his glove or over it, and it's into the right field corner. Gerald picks it up on the warning track. He'll throw it in, and Bazana has a 2-out double. That one got on LaJoie quickly, and even the sure-gloved LaJoie was unable to stop that one. Really only had time to stick the glove out and try to get it on the backhand. Didn't have enough time to put his body in front of it. And also, I wouldn't have blamed him for that, as that one was hit like a missile by Travis Bazana. Briley Knight, who is 0 for 3 tonight as well. He steps to the plate with 2 outs and Bazana on second. Bazana represents the potential tying run in this game. Briley Knight, first pitch swinging, fouls one back to the backstop, and it's 0-1. It'll go down as a double for Travis Bazana, as it should. I don't know whether that even touched the glove of LaJoie or not, but if it did, it certainly didn't hurt it at all. That ball was getting out of the infield in a hurry. Here's the 0-1. Briley Knight takes down low, and it's 1-1. Young pitcher Case Matter is. Certainly the confidence has been building for him over his last few outings. He's got to keep the trust in his stuff. He got the first 2 batters out swinging. He just needs 1 more out. Doesn't have to be a strikeout. Here's the 1-1. Briley Knight fouls another one back near his dugout, and it's 1-2. Matter works primarily off of his fastball, which is in the high 80s, low 90s, and a big looping curveball. And the last time I talked to him in the Cascade Natural Gas postgame show, said he owes a lot of his recent success to just tunneling his pitches, which is that the fastball and curveball look the same out of the hand and come from the same release point. The 1-2, and Briley Knight takes a fastball up high. It's 2-2. So essentially those 2 pitches, because they're released at the exact same point, look the same up until the curveball starts to break. And that is what has helped him tremendously in his last few outings. Matter looks back at second. Here's the 2-2. And Briley Knight lifts one deep to right. Gerald over to the fence. And he's pointing foul. Mike Carr, and no, Jim Courtney, the first base umpire, calls it foul. And that is just about an impossible call to make for anyone on the field. Jim Courtney called it foul. The Knights haven't realized it yet. He called it foul, but the Knights, most of the Knights didn't see it. Bazana didn't see him call it. So he was at third base asking what the call was. Normally in this situation, the field umpire would be in the middle of the field and that call would go to the home plate umpire looking down the line. But because of the 3-man crew here, Jim Courtney, the first base umpire, was down the line to make the call. And I do not envy him. That is an impossible call to make. Here in Yakima, we've talked about it all sorts of times, but if you're new to the stadium, I've already mentioned those corners of the outfield jut back in towards the field of play. It's very shallow, and the foul poles are short. So if a ball gets hit out that way, it could conceivably go past the foul pole in fair territory, curl foul, and look like a foul ball because of where it falls, because you have no reference for where it crossed the foul pole. And really being closer to the corner isn't much of a help for Jim Courtney in that situation. But what he saw live, he saw a foul ball. The umpires are together talking this one over. And that might be some bad news for the Pippins, because if they're talking things over on a judgment call like a fair foul call, then that may mean the umpires are considering calling this a home run and trying to figure out the ramifications of that call as far as the backlash they will receive here in Yakima. That would not be a favorable call. You'll expect to see Crust Angel come out of the dugout if it happens. The umpires might have an agreement here. Briley Knight certainly hit that ball well. It's just a matter of whether it stayed fair long enough. And it is called a foul ball, and Case Matter and the rest of the Pippins can take a deep sigh of relief, as it will still be 2 balls and 2 strikes for Briley Knight, who almost gave the Knights a 2-1 lead with a 2-run home run, but just pulled the ball foul. So Case Matter will get another chance to retire Briley Knight, who is 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout, a fly out and a ground out. Travis Bazzana on second base with 2 outs. Pippins up 1-0 in the top of the 8th. Here comes the 2-2. And Knight tried to hold back a swing. He didn't, but it gets past Carpentier. He won't be able to throw out Knight, and Bazzana goes to third. That is strikeout number 3 for Case Matter in this inning, but the inning will play on as Briley Knight reaches as the ball gets past Michael Carpentier Jr. The curveball worked, but he couldn't block the ball. Pats the chest protector, says that one was on me. So the Knights now have runners on the corners for Nick Vogt, who is also 0 for 3. But these are the 3 toughest batters in the lineup. Peyton Stumble had the answer for them. Case Matter, outside of striking out Briley Knight, has not had the answer. Nick Vogt takes the first pitch low and inside, had to scoot his legs out of the way. It's 1-0. This is game 1 of the West Coast League Championship Series. Both teams won the division series. The Corvallis Knights did it in 2 games against Ridgefield. The Pippins needed 3 games to take down the Bellingham Bells. The 1-0 pitch to Vogt, grounder the other way. That'll get through the infield. Bazzana scores from third. Briley Knight thought about going to third. That was a wise decision to hold up at second. But it's an RBI base hit for Nick Vogt, and this game is tied at 1 in the top of the 8th inning. Well, Case Matter had struck out the 3rd batter of this inning, but the ball got past Michael Carpentier Jr., and he was able to reach, sending Travis Bazzana to third base. And as the inning went on, Nick Vogt singles through the right side of the infield. Nobody was near it. Timeout called at the plate. And the third base coach for Corvallis has a problem with the words coming out of the dugout for the Pippins. Home plate umpire Mike Carr is saying, I'll take care of their dugout, you take care of your own. It's been back and forth. At various points, the dugouts have came to life. Corvallis is obviously coming to life now that they've tied the game in the top of the 8th, and now they're complaining about the Pippins cheering, or perhaps jeering the other team. The first pitch to Kiko Romero, he takes low and away, and Case Matter has to be careful not to unravel here. He allowed the 2-out double to Travis Bazzana, and then had Briley Knight struck out swinging, but it was a breaking ball that got past Carpentier. The 1-0 pitch, and Kiko Romero, bouncer to Mason Marenko, fields it clean and throws to first, and in time, that is out number 3, but this game is back to tied after the top of the 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 1-1. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Pippins. Carpentier, Gerald, and Mason Marenko. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the bottom of the 8th inning. Peyton Stumbo turned in 7 shutout innings to start the game. In the bottom of the 7th, the Pippins took a 1-0 lead against reliever Brett Gillis, but then in the top of the 8th, Case Matter came in to relieve Peyton Stumbo. And after getting 2 strikeouts to start the inning, Travis Bazana absolutely blazes a baseball into the right field corner past the first baseman Willie Lajoie to double. Briley Knight struck out swinging on a curveball in the dirt that got past Michael Carpentier Jr., allowing him to reach and Bazana to go to third. And Bazana would score on a base hit by Nick Vogt to tie the game at 1 after the top of the 8th inning. So Michael Carpentier Jr. will lead things off, and he's got a little bit of making up to do for both Peyton Stumbo and the Pippins as that breaking ball got past him. He will lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th, followed by Corey Jarrell making his first at-bat, and Mason Marenko. And they will do so against a new pitcher for the Corvallis Knights, Chase Walter, taking over on the mound. First pitch swinging, Carpentier, he gives this one a ride to the wall, and that ball is gone, and he does make it up. That's a no-doubt fair ball solo home run to lead things off in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Pippins are back on top 2-1. And the Yakima crowd comes alive as well as the dugout comes out to greet Michael Carpentier Jr. Let's take another look back at that hit from Michael Carpentier Jr. Comes back, he had some making up to do, just like I said, and boy does he. He absolutely demolishes the first pitch he sees from Chase Walter. That ball was gone off the bat, stayed well fair. Jim Courtney had an emphatic point to show it was gone. And Michael Carpentier Jr. with the solo home run gives the Pippins back the lead after he contributed to losing it in the top of the 8th. Corey Jarrell batting now with no outs. Tried to lay down a bunt down the third base line. It went foul, and it's 0-1. Back-to-back lefties for the Pippins, with Jarrell coming into this game in the top of the 7th inning as a defensive replacement. Fouls a pitch off the end of his bat, and it's 0-2. Jarrell has enough speed and, of course, comes out of the left-handed batter's box that he can try to lay down a surprise bunt every once in a while. Tried that time, and it almost stayed fair. The 0-2 outside and misses for a ball. Chase Walter, right-handed sidearm pitcher out of Laguna Niguel, California. Also attends Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Over the summer, he made 10 relief appearances, 2-0 record, 5.82 ERA. 17 innings of work, 24 strikeouts to 9 walks, and he strikes out Corey Jarrell for the first out of this inning. That will bring Mason Marenko to the plate. Mason is 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout, a lineout, and a walk. Doesn't yet have a hit in the playoffs so far. Held back a swing, says Jim Courtney, and it's 1-0. One-0 pitch catches the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike for Mason Marenko. Mason will head back to Gonzaga as a redshirt junior in the fall. The 1-1 pitch, and he grounds one to the right side. Kiko Romero with a sliding stop, tosses to Walter, who's covering at first base. And they get the second out on a great defensive play by the Corvallis Knights that doesn't involve Travis Pizzana. First pitch to Alex Shanks, and he gives this one a ride to left field. That one will not make it all the way out. It was misjudged by the left fielder, and he failed to make the catch. The throw goes to second, and Alex Shanks slides in with a double. He's laying on top of second base, and things start to fall apart at the seams for the Corvallis Knights, who looked like they were back in after the leadoff home run by Michael Carpentier Jr. Alex Shanks hit that ball deep to left. The wind must have kept it in. It was hit well. Well, let's take a look at it instead of me just describing it for you. Alex Shanks hits that one high to left field. Tyson Corio also thought it was going to be deep. He was ranging back, then realized it was much shallower than he thought, tried to come back in, and it bounced right before he got it with the glove. That allowed Alex Shanks to race around to second. The throw was just off target, and Alex Shanks slid in safely. It was almost hung out to dry. So it's a 2-out. See if it was credited as a double, and it was. It will be a double for Alex Shanks with 2 outs. First pitch to Taylor Holder, who missed outside and got past the glove of Tanner Smith, allowing Shanks to move over to third base. So Holder now with a 2-0 count after taking ball 2. He had a double to lead things off in the bottom of the 7th and scored on the misplay in the infield by the Knights when Connor Cabales had an infield single that Pizzana bounced to Kiko Romero. Bounced off the glove, and Holder scored from third base. The 2-0 pitch in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Pippins leading 2-1 after Michael Carpentier Jr. obliterated a baseball to start the bottom of the 8th. The 2-1, and Holder lines one to right. Racing back is Stancato. He turns around, and it one-hops the wall. Scoring from third is Shanks. Taylor Holder has his second double of the night. The Pippins lead 3-1, and you could not get more excited than the Pippins are here in the bottom of the 8th inning. One more time for the people in the cheap seats. Take a look at that one off the bat of Taylor Holder, who gives that one a ride. Second double of the night for him. First one was to left center. This one goes to right. Kyler Stancato turns around. That's how you know it's a well-hit baseball. One hops the wall. Shanks easily scores from third, and Holder in with a stand-up double. The Pippins lead 3-1. Connor Cabales at the plate. He has reached 3 times tonight. He was hit by a pitch, walked, and singled in this game. Flew out in his first at-bat as he just continues to get on base left and right. Fouls one off his leg, and it's 1-1. Some excited fans here in Yakima. Connor Cabales with a 1-1 count, misses outside, and it's 2-1. Chase Walter came into this game trying to hold the tie. Instead allowed a leadoff home run to Michael Carpentier Jr. Then a double to Alex Shanks and a double by Taylor Holder that scored a second run. The 2-1 misses outside. It is 3 balls and 1 strike for Connor Kobalis. The Pippins spent the entire summer without shutting out an opponent once. They were shut out 3 times themselves and were on the way after Peyton Stumbo turned in 7 shutout innings to start the game. But Case Matter allowed a run in the top of the 8th, tying the game, and Pippins kept up the energy, scoring 2 runs so far in the bottom of the 8th. Connor Kobalis walks for the second time tonight, and the Pippins have runners on first and second with 2 outs for Chaz Myers. Myers had the first hit of the day back in the first inning. He's 1 for 4 tonight. Taylor Holder on second base, Kobalis on first. The first pitch to Myers, rips a grounder through the left side of the infield. Holder getting waved around. It goes off the glove of the left fielder, Tyson Corio. Kobalis races to third. He'll be held up there. On his way to second goes Chaz Myers. It's a base hit. The error allows Myers to go to second and Kobalis to third. Holder likely scores anyways, so it's an RBI base hit for Chaz Myers. And we'll take another look at that one. Look at all the instant replays for the Pippins in this inning. Chaz Myers, first pitch swinging, ambushes Chase Walter and takes that grounder through the left side of the infield all the way into left field, and insult to injury as Tyson Corio can't field that one cleanly off the grass, and everyone gets an extra base. Sam Olson fouls off the first pitch he sees. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. The Pippins are ahead 4-1. The 0-1 misses inside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. I think a lot of people around the West Coast League might have written the Pippins off in this series. They had to take Bellingham to Game 3 after losing 14-1 in the opener. Corvallis easily handled the Ridgefield Raptors, who had one of the best offenses in the West Coast League. As Olson fouls another one off, and it's 1-2. Instead, the Pippins at home, on the home turf, are out in front 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. This is their last chance to add to the lead before the 9th. And they've added 3 runs already. 1-2 misses outside, and it's 2-2. Said it a few times already tonight. Nobody is going home tonight. Nobody's season in danger of ending tonight. But whoever wins is 1 win away from the West Coast League title as Olson takes outside for ball 3 and the count is full. The Knights do have someone throwing down in the bullpen, but will it be too little too late for the Knights? Whoever wins tonight gets to go to sleep knowing that whatever happens in Game 2, their season won't be over either. As Olson takes outside and he walks to load the bases with 2 outs for Willie Lajoie. And you talk about a guy in this lineup that you want at the plate with the bases loaded. Lajoie already has a double today as well as a walk. And behind him is Michael Carpentier Jr., who, if you need a reminder, led off this bottom of the 8th inning with a solo home run. Lajoie takes a strike right down the middle, and it's 0-1. You like the confidence that Carpentier is exhibiting. He's taken off the shin guards. He's expecting to hit in this inning. Here's the 0-1. Lajoie takes outside. It's 1-1. Michael Carpentier Jr. in his final game with the Pippins. We know that tomorrow he will be heading back home, and he delivered. After initially assisting with the Corvallis Knights scoring a run in the top of the 8th inning as Lajoie fouls one off. When Case Matter had struck out Briley Knight swinging, the ball got past Carpentier to the backstop, allowing him to reach. Bazana moved to third. Nick Vogt singled and scored Travis Bazana, and the Knights tied it at 1. And Michael Carpentier Jr. immediately made it up to the fans and players here in Yakima with a solo home run. And after that, 2 outs Chase Walter earned before 2 doubles by the Pippins, a walk, an RBI base hit, and another walk loaded the bases, and the Pippins have a 4-1 lead. 2-2 count for Willie Lajoie, the big hitting first baseman. With 2-2, he lines back to the screen, and he's got the timing down as that one lined straight back off the barrel. He was just underneath it. The Knights know that after tonight's game, both teams will get tomorrow off to cool off a bit before the series continues in Corvallis on Thursday with Game 2. Lajoie takes a close pitch just below the knees, and the count is full. The temperature continues to dip here in Yakima. That's 65 degrees now. Fully black night sky. The light's the only light source here at the stadium. The payoff pitch, and Lajoie pops one up over the press box. Count still full. The Pippins had everything going against them coming into this series against the Corvallis Knights, including the fact that the last time these two teams met, the Corvallis Knights swept the Pippins in 3 games. The Knights swept the Ridgefield Raptors in 2 games in the division series. The payoff pitch, Lajoie grounds to Travis Bazana, double clutches but gets it over to first well in time, and Lajoie grounds out. He was the 9th batter of the inning, and we go to the 9th. Pippins leading 4-1. Case Matter will head back out to try to hold the 3-run lead, and we'll be right back. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Knights. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Leading off the top of the ninth inning for Corvallis, catcher number 21, Tanner Smith.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the top of the 9th inning. Tanner Smith to lead things off for the Corvallis Knights, followed by Kyler Stancato and Tyson Corio. 3 outs left for the Pippins to earn, and they have a 4-1 lead in Game 1 of the West Coast League Championship Series. Tanner Smith takes strike 1. Case Matter had 3 strikeouts in the last inning. Only 2 of them produced an out, as the third one ended up being a dropped third strike that allowed Briley Knight to reach and led to the Knights scoring a run in the 8th to tie the game at 1. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, catches the inside corner. Tanner Smith gave up on that pitch, raised the hands. And Mike Carr now issuing a warning to Tanner Smith, the catcher. Smith had given up on that pitch. He wasn't even looking at it, as it ended up being a curveball that broke over the plate. So he's frustrated at a pitch that he didn't see the end of. Came back over, said something that Mike Carr didn't like, and he issued him a warning. Smith has been behind the plate for the Knights all night as well. So who knows what kind of conversations have been happening between them throughout the night. Case Matter out in front 0-2. He goes back through the windup. Now he goes back through the windup. The 0-2. And Tanner Smith pops one up first base side out of play. The Pippins do have an arm getting loose in the bullpen just in case. That pitcher has a sweatshirt on, so I cannot identify him. I could take a guess that it's Owen Wild, but I cannot confirm it. He was available tonight if needed, although they would like to not use him because he went over 3 innings a few nights ago, popped up again out of play. It was 2 nights ago that he went 3 1/3, relieving Seth Kuykendall. Owen Wild did, to finish off the first win for the Pippins back on Sunday. 0-2 count again. Case Matter through the windup, the pitch. Breaking ball, caught him looking, and Tanner Smith not happy. And he has some words for Mike Carr, and Brooke Knight is coming down from the third base coach's box. And this better be about a substitution, or else Brooke Knight's night might be over. He's at the edge of the grass. Michael Carpentier Jr. giving them their space, and that's a smart move by the catcher, Carpentier. He wants to let Brooke Knight hang himself with the rope here that Mike Carr is giving him. He doesn't want to get in the middle of that argument. Well, Knight not satisfied, but Mike Carr lets him retreat back to his coach's box. And Kyler Stancato will bat for the 4th time tonight. That is a backwards cave for Case Matter against Tanner Smith, who took another breaking ball that caught the inside corner. And really, ultimately, it doesn't come down to whether that pitch was or was not a strike. It comes down to the fact that Mike Carr was calling that pitch throughout the entire at-bat and perhaps further than that. And you can't take that pitch with an 0-2 count in the top of the 9th inning when you're down by 3. Stancato, it's a grounder to Kobalas. He's charging down the line, but out by a step as Kobalas gets it there. And the Pippins are 1 out away from their first win in the West Coast League Championship Series. They've never played a game in the West Coast League Championship Series. Before this year, they had just 1 win in the playoffs at all, and it came against the Corvallis Knights back in 2017. The last time the Pippins had made the trip to the playoffs. They won Game 1 and lost Games 2 and 3. Had never won a playoff series. They already did that against the Bellingham Bells this season. Advanced to the West Coast League Championship Series for the first time ever. What a historic season it has been for the Pippins. And they are 2 strikes away from earning their first win in the finals. Case Matter on the mound to do it. Here's the 0-1 to Corio. And he takes low and inside that time. It is 1-1. First ball thrown by Case Matter in this inning. Matter came in the 8th with a 1-0 lead and allowed the run to score. Here in the 9th, he's 2 outs in against 2 batters. Here's the 1-1. Backdoor breaking ball stays outside, and it's 2-1. The Knights had to use 3 pitchers tonight. The Pippins have used Peyton Stumbo through 7 scoreless innings. And then Case Matter in his 2nd inning, the 2-1. Corio takes at the knees for a called strike, and it is 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tyson Corio at the plate. Case Matter delivers. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is strikeout number 5 for Case Matter. And the Pippins walk away with a 4-1 win in Game 1 of the West Coast League Championship Series. With the win, they need just 1 more between either Thursday or Friday They will take tomorrow night off, travel to Corvallis tomorrow, and take on the Knights at 6:35 p.m. on Thursday night. We'll have live audio coverage on Mixlr at Pippins Baseball or at pippinsbaseball.com/live. This game was scoreless through 6 innings. The Knights needed 2 pitchers to get to that point. Sam Sturr, who left in the 5th inning with 1 out and the bases loaded, and then Brett Gillis, who escaped the jam, got through a scoreless 6th inning, and then in the 7th allowed a run after Taylor Holder doubled to start the inning and Connor Kobalas singled. The ball was thrown around the infield, and Holder scored from third on that play. Peyton Stumbo turned in 7 complete shutout innings, allowing just 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts for him on the night, his best outing of the night, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Then in the 8th, Case Matter comes in to help seal things down, but instead, after striking out his 3rd batter, the ball skips away from Michael Carpentier Jr. Travis Bazana, who had doubled earlier in the inning, he goes over to 3rd as Briley Knight reaches. Nick Vogt singles to score a run and tie the game. But then in the bottom of the 8th, Michael Carpentier Jr. launches an absolute bomb to right field, giving the Pippins a 2-1 lead. Chase Walter, the new pitcher in that inning, who had given up the home run, he gets 2 outs to follow, but then Alex Shanks doubles, Taylor Holder doubles to score a run, Connor Kobalas walks, and Chaz Myers singles home Taylor Holder, and the Pippins take a 4-1 lead. Case Matter heads back out for the 9th, strikes out Tanner Smith looking, gets Kyler Stancato to ground out, and then strikes out Tyson Corio swinging for a 1-2-3, top of the 9th inning, and the Pippins are victorious. For the first time ever, they reach the championship series, and for the first time ever, they win Game 1 of the championship series. Again, they'll take tomorrow night off. We'll be right back at it on Thursday night at 6:35 p.m. in Corvallis. I've been Chris Rosado Jr. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Hope you had as much fun as I did. If you're a Corvallis fan, I'm sorry, but at least it was entertaining. And we'll see you on Thursday night. Have a great night.